Nice, nice, nice. Um, there's a lot that happened this week, so I can write this down real quick.
Yes, sir.
And then, okay. Let's see. Loot box and Kojima. What is it, 17?
Oh, the date?
No, the podcast title or number.
Jesus, I think, yeah, 17.
I think
Oh
it's
man, we're almost legal.
Yep.
That's wild. That's wild. Can't have our first drink yet, though.
not here in the States, but you can in
That's
Puerto
true.
Rico though. We can go
Yeah,
there
I
for
know,
a
yeah.
moment.
You're right. Yeah, I know in DR, the age is like 16.
Yeah, they're like, you're born, here you go. Here's a beer. On us.
Jay, talk for a little bit so I can hear the mic.
Yeah, can you hear me? I just saw, I just saw this funny meme. Kobe's or like those hibachi restaurants
Mm-hmm.
where like they cook in front of you and whatever.
Love them.
Yeah, teppanyaki.
I just saw this meme of like it's like a human body, but like he's got like a shrimp head and like his hands are like the shrimp tail. So he's like it's like basically like a shrimp man cooking, and the caption is like no freaking way. It's the funniest thing.
What the hell? That's some random shit right there.
The funniest thing.
All right, we're good to go. The sound is good on all fronts.
Okay. Let me just double check something. All right, yeah. This is episode 17.
Crazy.
Yes, sir. All right, you guys ready?
Raise that love review, my man.
Yep.
All right. Guys, welcome back to the 17th episode of the DualShock Sense Podcast. I am your host, Soul, the connoisseur of anime waifus. With me, as always, I got my two co-hosts. Walt, how you doing, man?
What's going on, y'all? It's a great week. It's E3 after party. It's the waiting time. We just entered cryostasis. We were hyped. Now we're waiting. It's gonna be a great half year we have left, and then great 2022 so far. It's looking up. Excited to talk about a lot of things, mostly E3 and some conspiracies today. But yeah, it's going good, man.
Yes, sir. And as always, we also got Macho. How you doing, man?
How's it going, everybody? It's the King of Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy fanatic here. It's been quite a tumultuous week. Square Enix. Oh boy. Thankfully, Final Fantasy Remake Integrate was here and Ratchet and Clank. I just wanted to quickly point out that Sunday night my grandmother passed away, and it's definitely leaving a hole in my heart, and it's definitely in the heart of my family. But I wanted to bring this up specifically because I wanted to relay that gaming can heal.
Yes, sir.
Ratchet and Clank and Final Fantasy Remake just put me into this zone where it's not like I was forgetting about my troubles or my worries about the world, but it was just giving me a place to kind of stay comforted in and really just indulge in. Yeah, it definitely helped with that healing process. Obviously, be with your family in times like these, but don't be afraid to indulge in your hobbies and just give way to that. Gaming can definitely heal, and this was definitely a week for that. So, just want to say thank you to Sonic Games Square Enix, and rest in peace, Abuela Christina, always in my heart.
Amen, brother.
Definitely. I can't imagine like a better game for that healing process. I mean, for you, for Final Fantasy, so it came out at like, I feel like at just the right time, but also Ratchet, right? It's just like oozing with just like good vibes, right? So yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
I can't imagine like two better games for to help you with that healing process, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's like it's kind of like the pandemic last year, where like the pandemic happened and everything was closing down, and Animal Crossing was right there.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
same
definitely.
situation here.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, we got a packed show for you guys. Obviously E3 just happened, so we're going to try our best to go through each conference and talk about what interested us, what didn't. We're going to talk about the highs and lows of E3 and maybe get into whether or not Sony was missed this E3. The heart and soul, right, Macho of E3. we're gonna talk
Absolutely.
we're gonna talk about that. But as always, we're gonna kick things off with what we've been playing this past week. So yeah, Walt, why don't you actually really quick? This is something that I'm gonna go off on a little tangent, and I want to bring this up, Walt.
Okay.
Me and Macho, we have like our like Soul and Macho, like we have our nicknames. I wanted to bring this up, man. Do you want like are you okay with just being called Walt like for your podcast like identity or whatever? Like has that name just kind of stuck or like cuz I feel like we're still in that early enough process where like we could still change our names, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
I don't like
Um,
are you good with Walt or like has that just kind of stuck or what? How are you feeling?
Honestly, it's stuck to the point where whenever I'm like making anything username related, like in a video game, now I put Walt because it's just short and it's right to the point, and it's you're not changing my name. It's fine. It's a good. I've actually just grown attached to it, I guess. I respond to it fast. If we were to change it now, I'd be like, oh wait, that's me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it's good so far. Do y'all feel like it fits? Like when y'all call me, like, oh, Walt. Like, is it natural enough?
Yeah, like I feel like I'm pretty much used to it now. Like you are Walt, you know what I mean? Like that's yeah, that's like my 2 cents.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I kind of agree. I mean, the other nickname I was thinking of, Walt, Walt Disney, Mickey. I'm gonna call you
Oh
Mickey.
man,
Call you
nah,
Mickey.
Mickey,
nah, we're good.
bro, that's a Puerto Rican stuff. Cause like you go there to like ghetto areas, and it's like, oh yeah, you know Two Shoes? Yeah, man, I know people. I know Mikey. It's like, bro, no, Mickey. I mean, if you want to call me Mickey, by all means, but no, man.
All right, but I
Walt
mean,
is
yeah,
fine.
Walt is good, but I mean, I was just
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
at
yeah.
Twitter. You have Lando too.
Yeah,
Where's the
Walt
Lando
Lando.
coming from?
Lando's from Orlando. That's my middle name.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a Star
Yeah.
Wars reference.
I've been thinking if I should do that, but not having seen the original trilogy yet, I'm not gonna do
Oh, okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Walt Lando. I mean, Walt. You can call me Orlando. It's very weird since it's we're Jay, like, and I like live in Florida, and it's like uh, it's
Hey man,
weird
don't
because
be telling people that, man. They're gonna
what.
come hunt us down, man. Chill.
Especially
Oh
you,
yeah,
man.
so
Where's your PS5 at?
yeah, man. Some of the stuff I'd be saying on Twitter, man. We can't be having that. um,
Wait, did this man move though? I mean, I'm talking like origin places because I didn't originate in Florida by all means. It was in Puerto Rico. I'm not Puerto Rico, y'all. I'm not gonna tell you where I am. I'm in the.
oh
But
man.
like Walt's, yeah, Walt's fine. I mean, yeah, yeah. Let's
Cool,
keep it
cool,
Walt.
cool. All right. Yeah, just curious.
Yeah, for
All
sure,
right,
for
man.
sure.
So
Thank
let's
you for
talk
listening.
about the games that we've been playing this week.
Sweet.
Macho, why don't you kick us off, man? What's been going on with you?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's been kind of a packed week with stuff going on with family and everything, but also just I had a lot of time off. So I was able to actually get a lot of gaming done, including Ratchet and Clank. and even getting the platinum for that.
Already?
I'm sure we'll get
Damn.
more into that later.
That
Yeah,
was
bro.
fast.
Yeah.
Damn.
Um,
How
it
many
it
hours
was a
did it
lot of
take
fun.
you? I'm curious.
Last I checked when I was like near the end of the game, it was like 17 hours. So I want to say like under
Really?
20 hours, under 21 hours. Yeah,
God
Wow.
damn.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't
I
know
was
if like
I was pretty thorough.
I don't know if like and you were able to do it in one playthrough?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What? Man,
Wait, what
I
did
don't
I?
know.
Hold on.
Like I feel like I've been going at this game like really slow, man. I think I'm at like 12 hours so far, and I'm still like early on. I'm literally just trying to do like every single like get every single collectible before I actually leave these planets for the first time.
Yeah, there's some that you just can't get until you get a little later in, and then once like you hit off like the point of no return moment, that's when I went back and got everything.
Okay.
But I will say, to answer your previous question before, if you got a one playthrough, yes, but you do have to start another playthrough to get another weapon that you have to buy. So that requires going through the intro level a little bit and getting to Miss Zircon.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, it was actually a pretty easy platinum. It was fun though. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, and yeah. I don't know if you wanted to get into that now or get into the other games I've been playing, but
Go ahead. I mean, we might as well.
okay. All right. So wait, into Ratchet and Clank or the games I've been playing?
Both. I mean, Ratchet and Clank. Like, give me since you beaten it. Like, what's your thoughts on it?
Oh yeah, dude. It's it's lovely. I love Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I mean, obviously it came out at a time that it was definitely needed, but like it was, I can't believe like the quality of the storytelling in this one, and how like it differs from Ratchet and Clank 2016. Like me and Walt were talking about it before you jumped in, before we started the podcast, but we were just saying like, yeah, now we see like what Ratchet, old classic Ratchet fans were talking about when they say don't like the 2016 because of what it did to his characters, and then this one you can see the jump. It's like the jokes were mostly there. I laughed pretty hard at a couple of them. Rivet is just an awesome addition to the cast, and I just love the characters overall. I feel like they were like really memorable, and the worlds were fantastic to explore. Gameplay is classic Ratchet and Clank gameplay. It feels at home. It feels like, back in 2000, early 2000s, playing on my PS2. Like I got so much nostalgia vibe from it.
Nice.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll touch on, really, just really quickly before you guys could chime in here, the graphics. Holy crap, dude! You were just saying before, so how like it was one of the most beautiful games you ever played. I second that. It's absolutely one of the most beautiful games I've
I
ever played.
I honestly think now having spent more time with it, I think it's the most beautiful game I've ever played.
Absolutely. Like I know you kind of eye roll at the whole. This is like Pixar quality,
Yeah, yeah,
But I think this is actually the one that's going toe to toe with it with Pixar movies
yeah.
in terms of graphic quality. Like it's insane. And the thing is, I played at fidelity mode for like more than half of the game, and I'm a person, or at least I'm a gamer that loves my 60 FPS. But even playing at 30 FPS here in Ratchet and Clank, it's crazy to me what kind of developer Magic and Sonic has done to make it play so smooth and
Yeah.
make it feel good at 30 frames per second. And on top of that, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then for the rest of the game, I just turned on performance and ray tracing because things got a little crazier towards the end. So I want the higher frames. But man, that ray tracing is definitely a game changer in this one.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the game as well, man. Walt, have you been able to play it?
That's all I've been playing. Um,
Okay.
I haven't really touched anything because I was so anxious to try like an actual PS5 title, and I was excited that was Ratchet and Clank because I hadn't played an actual PS5 exclusive. Um, I second what Macha is saying. I mean, I haven't platinum it, but I'm having a blast. I'm making a slow burner, and I agree with everything. Like it's definitely one of the most beautiful games I've ever played, like at least in my lifetime. Um, because I bet there's more to come. Obviously, um, it's the most. I was telling Macho, it's the most video game because it's pure video game in its purest form. You know, it's there's no like heavy. Maybe there's some like heavy themes, but they don't really focus on that. It's purely gameplay focused. There's good characters. It's a good story. It's straightforward. It's straight fun. It's the best kind of like we mentioned earlier. It's the best game to heal. How Macho is playing the video game. It's healing his soul, heart during these hard times for him. It's such a pure game, and that Pixar like comparison we always go to, it stands even more because it's not only beautiful, but it's very wholesome. I've had moments where I don't necessarily laugh out loud, but I'm like, oh, that was nice. Like I felt like a little like warm inside, and with I'm not getting into spoilers, but like because for the people that haven't played it, and we haven't beaten it, but there's another character that I'm really falling in love with. The character itself. I'm not gonna say the name, just a little yellow person. Really falling in love with that character. Loving what they're doing with it.
Yeah, they were my favorite too.
Right. But yeah, man, that's what I've been thinking. Should I play something else? Nah, Ratchet and Clank. I always held back Ratchet and Clank. The only thing that I did play this week for a moment, and I had already played it in my Xbox, but I wanted to try it on PS5, is the demo for Scarlet Nexus, because anime, That was fun. It's a fun game. Might not be day one, but I might pick it up later on. But other than that, Ratchet and Clank all day, every day. And I assume that's all you've been playing too, right, Sol? No more Mass Effect for now?
No, I'm still bouncing between the two of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Slowly chipping away at that insanity playthrough. I only have 2 trophies left for the platinum in 2, but one of them is like the actual platinum itself, so it shouldn't be like too big of a deal. Yeah, to knock that out. But
I saw Macho got a platinum, but what was that platinum?
Let's not talk about that,
man. Pause.
Did
you feel a little salty? It's a little salty, so I got the platinum.
Hey man, I'm not confirming or denying that, man.
Y'all done. I ain't got no more.
Look, man. Before I moved on to Mass Effect 2 full time, right? Because even my fiance actually, she wants to see me play that game, and it was just nagging at me. That Mass Effect Platinum was nagging at me, and I put one of your numbers. So I'm thinking it was Thursday night. I started playing. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this completionist trophy because it's gonna be a pain in the ass, right? And I started playing, I started doing all the side missions, and the trophy just would not pop. And I was playing until 6:30 in the morning.
Damn.
Doing the side content, yeah. And then I eventually I just redid the Vermeer quest, or chapter. And then I did a couple more side quests, and the one side quest that made a pop was in the Citadel, and it was breaking up an argument between a couple.
Oh yeah.
That was the one side quest that was like that needed to do left, and whatever percentage of completionist to actually get that trophy. And then all I had to do was get like the AI hacking one, which was easy because Talia had that ability. So yeah, I had to get that one out of the way. It was nagging at me, dude.
Man, I don't want to do that. That's my thing. I don't want to do that.
Completionist one?
Yeah, man. I feel like and the one with like
I literally had a 4-hour podcast I put on it, and I just did all the planets like that.
Jesus. Yeah, and the one with like you had to get like all the Asari markings that you had to like scan the planets for them or whatever. Like that one sounds tedious as hell. Like I don't want to spend my time doing that, man.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, when it says the majority of the game, you don't really have to do, like, the reading stuff like that. It's just there's a lot of side missions that you can do otherwise.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, getting, like, all the readings, all the descriptions, all that stuff I wasn't even focusing on. I ended up getting anyway because I went to every planet to see if, like, there is something I can grab as like a side quest or something like that, you know. So,
Right.
and if you look around the asteroids too, like the asteroids are in certain solar systems, you can actually pick up materials from there too. So it just made it a little easier. The
Gotcha.
only reason why it went for so long was because the animation from going from system to system took like 5 to 10 seconds.
Gotcha. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll go back at some point. Um, but yeah. And have you been playing on Insanity or just another difficulty?
I just went back to my old Mass Effect file, so it was on normal.
Okay,
I
gotcha.
don't think I'm gonna touch Insanity since I already got the platinum. So I'm just like, I'll replay it some other time.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah. Instead of doing
Um,
that, I just focus on Final Fantasy stuff. So
Quick
okay.
question for both of y'all. And for Macho, for when you were, if you're still playing it, I assume. What difficulty are y'all playing Ratchet and Clank on?
I went normal.
I'm on
Normal? Okay.
the second hardest difficulty. I don't. I think
The
it's like
second,
a
so
rebel or
Resistance
something like
Leader?
that, or leader. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did the second hardest, and just to say it you notice it like they don't miss. I assume in the hardest difficulty, enemies do not miss. I had the most frustrating of times in the arena when you could only use the enforcer to fight
Oh,
with the goons for
that was
less.
fun, man. That
Dude,
was fun.
that was fun as hell, but it got frustrating for like one round because I could not. I had to get in my gamer pose. I was just chilling. I was like, no, gotta get in that. Gotta lean forward. Gotta get in this. But yeah, just want to mention that it's no joke. If you increase the difficulty, you'll notice it.
Yeah, definitely. And since we're bringing it back to Ratchet and Clank, what's your guys' favorite weapon? Um, keep. I don't know how I want to answer this because obviously like I haven't gotten all of them yet. So like if you think it's spoilery, or at least if it is spoilery, then just say the name and then don't go like too deep into like what it actually does.
Okay.
Or if it's like a weapon that is kind of like in the early game or whatever, then by all means go ahead. But yeah, I don't know. Keep that in mind, I guess, because like obviously I haven't gotten to like all the weapons yet. So
Me neither. I haven't finished the game, but I don't know how far you are.
um, okay, I
What
mean
else?
I can bring up the wheel right now.
Yeah, describe the planet. Like, just say the planet that.
I mean this is what I have right now: the blast pistol,
Okay.
lightning rod, executor, ricochet, Mr. Fungi, Negaton, Collider, Shatter Blast, and Topiary Sprinkler. So I haven't gotten
Okay.
the drill thing or whatever. I know that's one of them that you can get, and I
Gotcha.
think that's the extent of the weapons that I have right now. So for me personally, I'm really loving the ricochet. It's really fun. Seeing like I just love like you having to put in that extra input of like you fire off the one round and then you keep clicking on the trigger for it to like go again and again and again, and it's just a funny animation of seeing the enemies getting like battered around. Like it's so funny. They're like it's so funny seeing
Stop!
that.
Stop!
Yeah, literally. Yeah, so what about you guys? What's your kind of like standout weapon right now?
Yeah, Macho. What? I mean, yeah. Try to go up until the.
I mean, I feel like
I
I
mean,
know.
yeah. Just say the name.
I feel like I know what his is. It's
What
gotta
would
be
it be, Macho?
it's gotta be the Rhino, right?
No, actually, no, it's not. It's
Oh,
cool. It's cool, but yeah, no, that one definitely got me good vibes. Sorry, there's like someone weed whacking, of course, on
no,
your
you're good.
podcast. No, yeah, the Rhino was definitely like a really cool like moment for me when I started playing. That was near the end of the game, so
Gotcha.
but the one like that was my tried and true, the one I stuck with like for the most. I leveled up very early on. It's one of the ones you get very early in the game too, Mr. Fungi.
Really?
That I love Mr. Fungi.
I have
It's so
for
cool.
whatever reason I haven't been using that one that much.
Yeah, it's like I'm a fan of at least more of now. Just like when you have weapons that kind of like assistance to you.
Right.
So in Final Fantasy 14, there's this class called the Machinist, and eventually they get like a huge robot to fight alongside them, and it's super cool to like see and let them do commands, stuff like that. This got me that same vibe where like I'm setting up Mr. Fungi and he's like, I'm gonna eliminate you, and then like he just starts going off and just goes ham on it, and he does so much damage when you actually level him up too. So I enjoyed that one quite a bit.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting. Do you guys know what Rhino stands for? Because it's like an acronym. It's like RYNO. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know actually.
Me neither.
So in the original games, they stood for "Rip You a New One," and like that just kind of goes back to like the kind of like tongue in cheek humor that they were doing back in the day.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love it.
It's pretty cool. And it was always like, to your point, Macho, how it's a late game thing. Yeah, it was always like sort of a reward that you get towards the end of the game, and it was always like the most powerful fucking gun too. Yeah, I'm excited.
It definitely is.
I'm excited to see. Yeah, I'm excited to get it.
Yeah, it absolutely does an insane amount of damage. Yeah, it's so fun to kind of like see it happen. It has that goofy humor you expect from Ratchet and Clank.
Nice. Do you want to talk about? Did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about, Macho?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I also played Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade,
Very nice.
and that was fantastic. Another developer magic where Square Enix just went from you could play at 30, you could play at 60. You could tell some differences in the effects and stuff like that, but overall they play pretty smooth. And the actual DLC itself with Yuffie was fantastic. They hint at what Part 2 is going to lead up to and all that jazz. And I'm so... God, this Weed Whackers just... Hold on one second.
I didn't even think it was like that bad.
All right, I'm back.
It's
Sorry,
not
that guy was just distracting the hell out of me. Yeah, so Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade, it was just a fantastic DLC, and I loved like the replayability it has is amazing. It has challenges, it has an extra boss fight or two extra boss fights. It's like end game, and you need to actually level up, so they're actually pretty difficult. I couldn't actually beat this. I had to replay the first game to actually take on this boss because it's really hard. And what was it? Yeah, I think Intergrade was really kind of just a big highlight, just kind of jumping to Final Fantasy back again, and it was awesome to see kind of like how they're taking this into their own reins and making it into a Final Fantasy VII, but also making it something new and exciting and interesting. I'm really excited for Part 2. They made me really hyped for that. And then the other Final Fantasy thing I delved into was Stranger of Paradise. Final Fantasy Origin.
We're gonna get into that, man. We're gonna get into it.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say we can get into that with Square Enix stuff, but man, do I got a lot to say about that.
Cool. I'm excited to hear that. All right, man.
Excited to hear that slander. That's the sound in your voice.
Yep, yes, sir. I'm rubbing my hands together, man. I'm ready. Guys, let's get into the podcast, man. Let's talk about this. Let's begin with this blue box Kojima, conspiracy theories. So I want you guys to strap in, settle in, get your tinfoil hats on, because we going in, baby. We going in.
Going to the Twilight Zone.
Yes, sir. Let's get into it, man. So I don't even know. Okay, so back in April, let me take you down back to memory lane. Back in April, we got, and this was always weird, man. We got the reveal of a new PS5 exclusive, like, survival horror first-person game called Abandoned. It was this really weird 1 minute sort of like mood piece trailer. Yeah, so we got that in April, and it was pretty much quiet after that. But then I feel like for me, the moment that this whole Abandoned conversation sparked again or resurfaced was they made a tweet last week saying abandoned equals first letter S, last letter L, reveal coming soon. So obviously people immediately jumped to Silent Hill and everyone got really, really excited. But then the next day they came out and they're like, hey, we just want to be clear. We have no affiliation to Kojima. Silent Hill is a property owned by Konami. Like stop. This isn't what you guys think it is. But this
Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy.
Yeah, but this didn't stop. This didn't stop the internet from, from from the speculation. So it basically continued afterwards. And what's funny is that they actually came out near the reveal. People were convinced that this was a Kojima game, and they came out back near the game's reveal saying, "Hey, like we're not secretly a Kojima game." So this is really the second time that they've had to come out and say this. But nonetheless, man, people doing their thing. People doing their thing.
That's hilarious, dude.
Yeah. So I want to run by some of the weird things that have been the weird connections between Blue Box and Kojima, because this is definitely weird. I'm still not convinced that this is Kojima. It's fun to do this, to do the speculations and the tinfoil conspiracy stuff. I'm having a blast entertaining it, but I'm still not 100%. Like I don't think it's Kojima. Like I just want to get that out there. Nonetheless, it's fun to do this stuff, so let's do it, man. We going in, baby. We going in. All right. So first off, last year, if we or in April, so we got the trailer, but then around that time, the composer for Silent Hill also teased that a new game reveal was coming in summer 2021, and he also said that it is the one that you guys have been hoping for. So that obviously led people to believe, that it would be Silent Hill. We're still waiting on that. So obviously there's the thing of the Blue Box Studios logo being essentially an inverted version of the PlayStation Studios logo. Take that as you will. Then we have Blue Box Game Studios YouTube banner being a bunch of hills in the background. Right, there's that. We got employees at the company are using stock photos. It's basically essentially like the Twitter egg, right? Like they don't have any profile pictures, man. It's just the default, stock profile pictures. At the abandoned trailer, if you pause at the 49-second mark, the letters P and T are covered by the trees. Blue Box Game Studios revealed,
Holy crap.
right? Like Walt just got his mind blown just now.
Oh my god! It's all making sense now.
They also revealed this is something that really, like, all the way back in April was like a not a red flag, but it was just like games don't really do this that often. Like I don't recall like any games doing this, at least in recent memory. Is that Abandon would be getting its own PS5 app, which would let players run the game's trailer in real time on PS5, which is weird because, again, I unless you guys know, has any other first-party title done this?
No, not that I know.
First party title, no. I know there've been apps for like video games, but not first party title like specifically like this.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. Cause like, yeah, it's just weird. Like, why this game is it getting that special treatment, right? It's interesting. Anyway, Blue Box Game Studios, obviously, on Twitter their handle is BB Game Studios. BB is a possible reference to the bridge babies from Death Stranding. We have Blue Box Game Series was founded in 2015, exactly 1 year after the release of PT. Blue Box Game Studios' only other game is called The Whisperer, but the logo is a black handprint, just like the one from Death Stranding. One of their canceled games is called Lost Tapes, which is the soundtrack from Metal Gear Solid 5. Sam in the new trailer of Death Stranding Director's Cut is wearing a Netherlands flag on his backpack. Blue Box Studios is based in the Netherlands, but this one to me is a little weird because like Kojima also has a studio in Amsterdam, and then there's obviously the connection with Guerrilla Games, who are also based in the Netherlands. So like that one, I'm kind of like, I don't really, it's kind of whatever. Hassan Karaman, his initials are the same as Hideo Kojima. People were also talking about how the name translates to Hideo, but that's kind of been debunked already because I think it's some weird thing where Google Translate is like filling that in. So that one has kind of been debunked.
The Karan, the Latin Karan.
Yeah, translating to Hideo. That's been.
Man, I was a
right?
big proprietor of that one.
Yeah,
I like that one a
me
lot.
too. That was the one that made me raise my eyebrow.
Same here.
So we have Blue Box Studios. They their tweets are 3 a.m. like their local time. But in Japan that would be that would be like roughly 10 a.m. So like it's weird. It's really weird that they would be tweeting at 3 a.m. in the morning, but it makes sense if the studio is actually Kojima in Japan. Then they're making these tweets at 10 a.m. So that's a little bit more believable. So the Hassan Karaman on his PSN, he has a total number of 1,238 trophies, which is the same for the Japanese Silent Hill commercial. The same number on there.
Oh, come on.
Jesus Christ.
This
That's
one
hilarious.
this one is also really interesting. Is that I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this one. That Karaman on his PSN has played a game called Demon's Blood. It uses a siren head as its main picture. And Junji Ito, the famous mangaka, also reacted to a Siren Head picture a few months ago, and he also implied that he was working with Kojima. I also believe that Junji Ito was in Death Stranding as like one of those weird like hologram characters that you can like interact with and take side quests from. So
What?
so there's that. And there's plenty of other things as well. God, so yeah. So I think that's pretty much like all the main things. But I just wanted to get your I wanted to get your thoughts on this, guys. Are you guys believers or what? What's going on, man? And why don't you believe this, huh? Why aren't your eyes open to this, man? The answers are right in front of you, huh? Why don't you believe this?
This is ludicrous.
Open your eyes, people.
Look,
Macho.
as someone that's played the Kingdom Hearts games extensively and went into the background and lore, this is all bullshit.
As the king of Kingdom Hearts, I declare this bullshit.
No, it's if I learned anything from these complex fantasy decipherings is that everything has a meaning. So it is not true because all the evidence there is kind of crazy. Mind you, it's crazy evidence, and again, it's all conspiracy stuff. But it's fun to think of like if this was actually a real thing. It was like a real kind of dupe for everybody. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think it's real. Hideo's doing his own thing, and that's the Death Stranding director's cut, and whatever else he has planned.
What's more intriguing to me, this is all hilarious and very entertaining, mind you. I'm all for it because it's hilarious. As long as people don't take it too seriously, because then that's where fanatics come out from. I'm interested to see what they mean by the long-awaited, or what people have been waiting for, or like they're teasing this game to be something that people are expecting. I'm interested to see if that holds up, or if that's just their way of teasing and like making people interested. Because to be honest, this already got people interested, and whether it's Silent Hill or not, they're gonna know about the game.
It's a genius marketing strategy. I feel like it's honestly like, I don't want to say it's gone deeper than what Kojima has done in the past, but it's just so out there. Like, it's so batshit insane, man. And the funny thing is that they haven't even really done anything, right? Like this is like totally like as a result of people just like taking an idea and running with it. Like I feel like this is totally on, not really on them, even though they have kind of been playing into it, haven't they? Like some
Yeah,
these.
dude. Okay,
Yeah.
they're. Well, I told you guys before we started the podcast that someone tweeted out a picture of Hideo Kojima with a like curly villain mustache, and then we all know that the theory you had talked before was debunked, but how Hideo translated to the Turkish language was Hassan or Kamran rather.
Yeah.
And then someone tweeted out a picture of Hideo Kojima with the villain mustache to the studio, and they're like, "Oh, he looks Turkish." Like,
Oh man.
what?
My God.
Like they're absolutely playing into it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Like,
Yeah,
what a
they seem like
funny
they're having
choice of
fun.
words there, Blue Box.
Yeah. I don't know,
What
man.
does
Like
blue stand for?
I think there's
Yeah, what does the
honestly,
blue stand
yeah,
for?
honestly, yeah, there's that too. And then there was also Konami had recently they were dropping some merchandise on their website, and then I think if you God, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you have to I want to say like brighten the image or something like that. The nurse from Silent Hill is actually like hidden in
Yeah, you have to
like
color cross it.
right, right. She's there, which is also like, yeah, which I mean doesn't connect. I don't think it connects Blue Box to that, but I am of the mind that Silent Hill game is coming. But yeah, in regards to Blue Box, like I hope, obviously they're going to get backlash for this, but my opinion is that like I really hope that like they don't, because like I feel like this is on like the people for blowing this up like as big as they've made it, because they've come out and they've denied having affiliation to Kojima twice now. So like and people have been ignoring it. People don't want to believe it. So I feel like it's on kind of us for like you know what I mean, what I'm trying to say, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like they shouldn't catch any heat for something that they've
If
denied, you know?
I
the
agree.
kind of heat that they're gonna get, I don't think it's gonna be as severe as like the heat of if you lie, like blatantly lie, they're literally giving riddles or whatever they're doing and giving hints here and there, um, like an Easter egg hunt. So the the kind of backlash they might get will blow out. Like it won't blow off. It won't be as permanent as other video game companies. It won't be a EA situation where they've just lied and like you just get unfinished games with Mike. Like it's not gonna be that kind of backlash. I think they'll recover from it if they get even any.
Oh
I'm
man.
I'm just I'm intrigued. I'm like constantly like now like on Twitter checking to say, okay, what's gonna be the next like mind blowing hint. Oh, who is that? Oh, is that a pyramid on the side? Oh, is it standing up? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man.
We're getting to Assassin's Creed cryptics now.
Bro,
sir.
oh my God, you're gonna see symbols start popping up, and there's
Yeah,
gonna be a
exactly.
marker. There's gonna be a marker in the middle. It's gonna be Dead Space, actually. Imagine.
Konami owns Silent Hill, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. No, I'm just thinking of all the amazing IP they have under their belt and not doing nothing with.
Yeah, that they're not using.
No,
Yeah.
but they did Metal Gear Survive. That was such a mind blowing great
Oh
game, right?
God, oh God. Not even. Yeah, Metal Gear, Silent Hill, Castlevania, which I've had a secret affair with for quite some time now. Is I'm so sad they're not actually doing anything with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
so-
they're heavy into the pachinko and all that. So, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So that's how great. Look how much I served them.
Hey man, they
Garbage.
making bank, man. They making bank over there.
They are. They still are.
Yep, unfortunately.
Crazy.
But yeah, man.
Well,
I
again,
mean,
hopefully this kind of leads to something.
Yeah, I actually want like it's been a while. Like having played Dead Space recently, I really want like a true horror experience. And I'm not expecting anything, but if it's anything like they're setting it up to be with all this teasing and all this, oh, you guys are expecting it, you've been waiting for it. I'm excited to see like pure. I want to get the shit scared out of me. I want to be scared. I want like a very like ambiance focused just horror-filled experience. Like, give me something good to shit my pants over. That's all.
Give me something good to shit my pants over.
Yeah, man. Like, I want good horror. It's been so long, man.
What a quote.
Yeah.
What a quote.
Yeah, man. So, Macho, you said for a fact that this isn't real. Well, are you a believer or what?
Honestly, I got two sides to this, right? If someone believes it, I'll go along with it because it's fun. But if that person's insane, I might go like I gotta go pick up something. I won't stay for too long.
Yeah, I don't like these people who are like trying to rain on everyone's parade and be like it's not true. You know what I mean? Like coming out of their way.
Yeah.
Like just let people let people have their fun, man.
There's no need to correct people for something as trivial as this. First of all, y'all, it's a video game. It's a video game. Y'all getting mad over a video game when like. No, it's not even there's no video game. It's just teasing around it. Like, that's just ridiculous. I don't think it's a complete lie. There's BS when you go very deep in it. But I do think there's probably people underneath all this BS that are, like, actually figuring it out. Someone already probably figured out the name, but we don't see it. Someone was like, oh, it's, I don't know, this game. And maybe that's the game. But they don't want to indicate it, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. I love the dedication either way.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
right. I love it. But yeah, there's some truth to it, but it's not the truth we see. It's not as apparent as we think it is, you know?
No.
They're hiding in plain sight.
My whole thing is that like this and while I don't know if you were like if you took part in this, but this really reminds me of the last year, the Demon Souls hunt for finding out what the secret door was in
Yep.
God 1.1.3 I think it was. Essentially, Blue Point added a hidden door in the Demon Souls remake that wasn't in the original game. They also did something like this in the Shadow of the Colossus remake as well, which was pretty cool. But since it was new, nobody knew how to open the door. And essentially it was like people had to collect a certain amount of coins in the world in I forget what world tendency you had to be in as well. And that gave you access to this hidden door. Behind the door was a new set of armor that wasn't in the original game, so it was like really, really cool stuff. And it was this thing that brought the community together, and it was like, you know, people were literally just putting their minds together to see, okay, what would work, how did you do this, okay, this didn't work, like crossing out, you know, findings, confirming other ideas with just like a community. It was really, really cool to watch, and then within a week, the internet had it found out. And it really reminds me of this. In the sense of like, I feel like we can kind of get lost in this idea of like the internet is so much of just like constant streams of negativity being flown around, but it's moments like this where I'm reminded of like, no man, the gaming community can be like really, really fucking cool, like coming together and trying to like decipher this like really intricate puzzle.
And really fucking clever. Really clever.
And it's just fun, man. So like, let people have their fun, as long as it doesn't, as long as it doesn't devolve into, you know, like at the end of it all, once we get our answer, and it doesn't devolve into people harassing the devs and whatever, then like this is all in good fun. I feel like.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those events. This is gonna be one of those events of the year where like you're gonna look back on and be like, remember how fun that was? I hope it's like that.
I mean, and that's what Jason. That's what Schreier just said in a tweet, right? That this is like, he was like, even though I don't believe it now anymore. This will be like one of the best best gaming stories of the year, without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. It reminds me of, like, you're just saying that sense of community, Jay. That reminds me of a lot of the Kingdom Hearts fan base, really. that's why everybody loves that series. Whether you like it for Disney, you like it for the story, or for the characters, what the case may be. There's always hints and nods and clues to figure out, which makes it so interesting and makes it always evolving, even if it's to a fault. Um, but yeah, it's like seeing that just reminds me of the Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy community. Whenever there's something crazy cryptic going on in the story, we're trying to figure out where it could lead to next. It's addicting to kind of be a part of that.
Yeah,
You know,
without a
I
doubt.
think this is very reminiscent of the old days. Although I never went this hardcore back then when when I played video games at a very young age. This is very similar to how in the past when you had no internet and you had no way of like looking at walkthroughs or guides, you would like get with your friends and be like, "Did you find this item? Oh man, I can't solve this puzzle. Do you know?" And then someone's like, "Oh, I found this. You have to do this set of like steps around the game." Only on a wider scale. And I do think this is very similar to like it's nostalgic almost. It gives you that sense of community that you had back with your friends, like sitting on a couch in your parents' basement, and you're trying to figure out these video games, and like it's very stranger. Like I imagine the Stranger Things kids, like when they're playing D&D and they're trying to figure out stuff, like oh this, like they're trying to figure out all this mystery around the town. It's very reminiscent of that, of like the old days. So whenever people comment on this being such a memorable experience and such a good time, it is because you're collaborating. You're meeting people that share a common interest in finding out this same objective. You know, this can easily fall into a race of no, I'm figuring it out. No, you have this wrong. No, I have it right. You know, it's not that, and I'm glad it's not that. And how you mentioned so that the gaming community can come together, and it's not always toxic. Because as much as we like to say, you know, how the gaming community is like mainly like pretty awful, it's not. It's just that the awfulness is very loud. It's
Yeah.
very loud, and especially on the internet and Twitter. Whenever something's awful, it gets retweeted and quote tweeted like crazy.
Yeah.
But when something's like nice, people just gloss over it because oh yeah, it's vanilla, it's whatever. You know, it's not. That's why media focuses so much on negativity. That's why they exploit so many stories. That's why so many of the titles of articles are clickbait as hell, because people want that drama. Um, that's why it's so loud. But it's moments like these that you truly appreciate. Just we're all in this together. We're all under the same sky, unless you're in the satellite. You
Yeah,
know?
like this is drama, but it's good drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
It's
Yeah.
great.
And yeah, so we can end off this conversation. And I guess the last thing I'll say is that like more often than not with these certain things, the hunt or the journey is more often more entertaining and worthwhile than the actual reward that is at the end of it all. And I feel like that's probably going to be the case with this as well. But again, that doesn't invalidate the journey. This what we're currently in right now is
For
so
sure.
entertaining and so fun, and yeah, I don't know. It's just really cool to see how like this kind of started from nothing, and it's just kind of like blown up, and now you have like industry people all like chiming in, and some people like I saw this one journalist being like, "Oh, I'm a believer," and then this guy on I'm blanking on his name, but one of the writers at PlayStation Lifestyle made a like incredibly in-depth article about all of the connections and links of Blue Box to Hideo Kojima, and it's really wild. I definitely recommend people to read that because it's a fun read. But yeah, it's just really cool, man. So yeah, man, that's basically the extent of this whole Blue Box, Abandoned, Silent Hills, Hideo Kojima whole thing. I'm really excited to see. Apparently, there's something coming on the 22nd, I think, right, Macho? Am I right in saying that?
I think the 25th.
Okay.
But it is gonna probably happen into this month.
Okay.
Maybe.
yeah, so there's something there's something going on within probably the next week or so.
Which
That
makes sense because a lot of people are rumoring that Sony's going to have their own presentation by the end of this month. So we'll
right,
see what
right.
comes of that.
Yeah,
It's all
so
about the friends we made along the way.
yep. So let's see what happens, man. So guys, let's get into the real meat of the pause of the podcast now, man.
You didn't want to say potatoes.
Yeah, I don't want to say that.
God. The
Let's
real
get into
meat,
it.
y'all.
Let's get into it, man. E3 2021, man. There were highs and there were lows. But overall,
Good Lord.
I think we can agree that there was some good stuff, some great stuff being shown. So I think the way we're gonna tackle this is we're gonna go through each of the conferences, the main ones at least, run down the games and just talk about whichever one stood out to us. So let's start. Let's start with the order of the actual shows. The first one up is Ubisoft. So they showed Rainbow Six Extraction. They showed Rocksmith Plus, Riders Republic, Rainbow Six Siege. We also got a look into Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC, the Siege of Paris, I believe. Werewolves Within, we got a look at Far Cry 6. We got a new trailer. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. And that, Watch Dogs Legion as well. And Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. And that is it. So from that list, was there anything that you guys was like a big like your game of that conference? And then afterwards we can talk about just like our overall thoughts of the conference and give a score.
You can go kick it off, Macho.
Sure. The Mario and Rabbids thing was leaked, I think, a couple of days before by Nintendo, of all people.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I didn't play the first one. I want to. It's actually on sale now. I've been debating whether I should pick it up or not.
Get it, boy.
Yeah, $15.
Yeah, for sure. You got a lot of content in there. I assure you, it's
Yeah,
really
man,
fun.
it's rare. Also, it's rare to see that Nintendo tax come off a little bit like that.
Yeah, man.
That's because Ubisoft has a say in that. Ubisoft
Oh,
discounted the
right.
prices for nickels and dimes if they could.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm debating it's because I'm not a huge like strategy kind of guy, really, as far as when it comes to games like that. But I don't know. Something about Mario Rabbids like entices me, and really, I just like the style of it. I like the kind of like the parody of Mario, the way it's going. And this one looks like it was just a cinematic trailer. So, but hopefully they add more Nintendo characters because I know the first one had Donkey Kong as like a DLC.
Right.
So it'll be really cool if they have like stages that were, or even characters like Metroid or Samus and a couple others. That'd be cool. Or even
Easter
Splatoon
eggs,
characters. Yeah, or even Splatoon. That'd be cool too. But the one thing that I forgot to talk about in my expectations for Ubisoft conference that I was really looking forward to, like I love the Avatar franchise, Airbender and Blue
Ooh.
People.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely
Blue People.
love that movie. Yeah, I love that movie, dude.
My boy, finally, someone like, dude. You know how much hate that movie gets? For some reason, people always try to justify it, like, oh no, it was because it was 3D. No, shut up. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
God.
no, it's it's kind of ridiculous how people like to downplay that movie and what it did. But I get like the similarities to other movies and like it's not like completely original, but then it is because it's set off in this new. Like we can get to it another time, but the point is that they're actually making a game off it, which is what I've been wanting for the longest, and not that movie tie-in game that came out a long time ago. That trash tie-in game that was just so linear and just boring.
Yeah, we don't
I'm
want
talking
that.
about like a true ass open world adventure that has a unique story and unique open world elements that make it what it is for an Avatar game and does really true to the franchise. there's a lot of potential there. And even on lordsgaming.net, I wrote about we need a open world Avatar game. And then that's when I did a little more research and found out that Ubisoft Massive was making it, and they've been in development for since 2017, I think, or 2018, probably earlier. And so they finally made an announcement, and I was really hyped for this. I think it's going to be super cool. It's going to be basically, hopefully, it's not what people say it's going to be, which is like a Far Cry Avatar, since it is first person.
I was going to ask you, how do you feel about that being first person?
Y'all know me. I'm not really big on first person games, so hearing that, I was like, really?
It's such a weird choice, though, right? Like an Avatar game
It's
being
so
first
weird.
person, like why?
I don't know.
I
think it's just easier to make a first person game than it is third person. I don't know. Maybe.
And I'm imagining it that they're taking inspiration maybe a little bit from, I don't know, this is me spitballing, from the ride at, where is it? At Animal Kingdom, where it's,
yeah. See, that's what I was thinking too. That's where my mind was going too. Well, actually, continue.
right. It's a more, because if you see Avatar and you see the Na'vi or whatever they're called,
Yep.
the blue people, whenever
Na'vi,
they're
yep.
doing anything in that world, it's very exhilarating. They move a lot, like tree climbing, flying around. It's beautiful world. I think
Right.
I think they're trying to mimic what the movie did, which is humans and in blue people. Like it's
Right. Yeah.
you know. I do think they're trying to like immerse you the more they can. I hope it's not a Far Cry spiel where it's repetitive as hell. I hope it's open world, like beauty and exhilarating and waterfalls and floating islands and oh man, I have not high expectations, but I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah,
Continue, Mike.
no, but I'm glad you touched on that because that's what I was thinking of afterwards, Jay, where I was like, why first person? Um, Especially if it's like a really story focused and unique story, like they're saying. Why make it first person? But then when Walt touched on like the whole ride and everything, yeah. And then I thought about that and I was like, okay, that makes sense because I remember going on that ride in Animal Kingdom and being absolutely blown away
It's amazing.
by the experience of it. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Well, probably one of the best like rides over there.
Absolutely.
And the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, I can kind of see where they're going here. Hopefully, it is not like Far Cry because I do have a lot of expectations when it comes to putting in story nuggets, as Ubisoft is pretty good at. But things they have a lot of material with this, so that's where I have the high hopes coming from. And there's a lot to go in there. You can connect with like this world because there is some sort of like electromagnetic pulse to the entire Pandora world that the Navi have connection with. So that can mean like we can go up to florals or go up to animals and learn about their backstories, and that serves like this as a crazy cool gameplay purpose to keep exploring.
I'm imagining like sections where you try to tame and you put it like animals, like whatever they have, these memories flow in and you have this connection because that's something they do, and it's like they connect or whatever. It's really interesting. I hope those experiences they follow through the first person angle they try to do. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking for like how in the movie when they connect their hair to like the tree of the tree of life, I think it was, or something like
Yep,
that.
yep.
And or even just like trees in like in a very spiritual, to them a very spiritual forest.
Yeah.
They can hear and like feel and like really be in tune with the memories of their ancestors. That is an amazing storytelling point that they can just bounce off of and go through if there's like a mystery or something they need to figure out, or even with side quests. So like there's so much potential in this, and I'm really hoping that they knock it out of the park, especially since they're in tune with James Cameron and his studio.
Here's
Yeah.
hoping, man. Yeah. Gotta
So,
connect to that Mako energy.
do you think how do you think the timing between like do you think we'll be going back and forth between a Navi and like a human, sort of like the movie, or is it going
I
to
hope not.
Okay. Okay.
I never
I
thought of
hope
that.
not.
I hope not now. Yeah, I never
Yeah.
thought of that. Like, if you're actually a human and you're like doing side mission stuff as a human, then you gotta go into the Navi. No, no, please, just give me a native, indigenous like creature, like actual Navi from a tribe. I don't know. Give me 3 factions to choose from. I don't know. I don't want humans. Get humans out of here. I want to attack them.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
to be a human.
That's what a lot of people are scared of too, Jay. That a lot of people are saying like, "Man, I hope you're not playing as a human and you're in
God.
an Avatar world. That'll be such a wasted opportunity if that happened."
Yeah.
But it seemed like it's its own unique thing, and I thought about that too because I was like, "Man, I hope you don't play as a human because it's gonna have that animus thing where you have to keep going back into the box
Ugh.
to get into the world,
Oh,
you know."
yeah.
And that'll be such a Ubisoft thing to do, and
Yeah.
hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Avatar.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what I don't want. I don't want Assassin's Creed. I don't want Far Cry Avatar. I want Avatar. You know.
Welcome back, Desmond. How did you feel your ancestor, the Navi? Like, whoa, what? Your
Yeah, no.
ancestors, the Navi?
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
So,
So, I mean, the whole
thank you.
Ubisoft thing, that was like Avatar was the one thing I was like,
yeah,
I saw and I was
that
like,
was your standout.
oh, it's real.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
so it's interesting because I'm in a similar wavelength. That was my biggest surprise. So the Avatar thing, a lot of potential there. The biggest surprise for a follow-up game, I really enjoyed Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So I'm excited for this sequel. They got Rabbit Rosalina. Hopefully Rosalina's in there as well as a playable. Like, I love the character Rosalina and Galaxy as a whole. So if Sparks of Hope, I saw they're going into space. Give me some Galaxy maps. Maybe make gravity a thing. Like that'll be insane if they do like Galaxy maps and whatever. That'd be a fun. Other than that, honestly, I haven't purchased the game. I don't think I will. But I'm pretty happy for the DLC they're doing for Watch Dogs. They're bringing Aiden Pierce and they're bringing Wrench, which was a very beloved character from Watch Dogs 2. So that's kind of cool that they're bringing like the 2 very like liked characters, I guess.
They're kind of doing that
Whereas-
with Far Cry as well, with the villains.
Yeah. Bro. I gotta mention, like, as much as Far Cry has been more or less, whatever in the last few years, I haven't played 5 or New Dawn, or 4 even.
God, New
The
Dawn.
Become the Villain DLC, that looks insane. That looks really fun as hell. It just being, because that's one thing that Far Cry does for me, very, like, not well, but it's different, or, like, it stays on brand with their kind of villain they always do, this maniacal, like, psychopath that's also, like, very charismatic. I love that you'll be able to play as them, not necessarily in the real world. It seems like they're dream sequences, which is whatever. Regardless, looks super fun. I don't know if might play it or not. I might depend on whatever I'm feeling in the moment. But yeah, those are
Yeah,
my
Far Cry 6 looks great too.
yeah. And I'm hoping, man. I didn't play 4. I heard Jay. Did you play 4? Did you like it or was it awful?
No, I haven't played any Far Cry game.
Well, the only Far Cry I've played through and loved it, it's been 3. That's like the only, and I played it for PS3. I loved it, and then I saw how everything else was like almost the same thing. I was like, oh, it won't ruin my experiences. I won't make it monotonous as hell.
Yeah,
but this one
I
looks,
played through a little bit of 3 too, and then I didn't really finish it, but
yeah,
6 looks pretty good.
6. What makes 6, and it's say what you say about him because he's been in everything now. I love Giancarlo Esposito, and I want to see his performances as Anton Castillo. I love that dude. The 3 main things where I've seen him, the 2 things, which is Breaking Bad and The Boys, and a couple of indie films here and there. I think they've been in Spanish. He's freaking amazing. But yeah.
No, yeah, he is, and he did. He was in Summer Games Fest too. A quick interview with Jeff Keighley, and one thing that made me interested in, even if I don't play the game, at least like seeing his character in YouTube cutscenes or something like that. Jeff asked him, he's like, so what kind of like villain is your character? Something like that. Something pertaining to like villain, and his answer was like, my character's not a villain. He's a hero. So like,
I love that. Yeah.
So like that kind of mind bend, you're like, oh, okay.
He's really into it. Like he's really in the
yeah.
mind of him. Like and I think that says a lot about him as an actor, because it says like he's really in the mind of Anton Castillo. So when you encounter this villain, you will see probably like the fanaticism and the extremism of this individual and his oppressive way of handling his country. But yeah,
Yes,
that was
100%.
Ubisoft for me. What about you, Jay? Were you any excited for anything that Ubisoft showed?
Not really. I mean, the Rabbids announcement was pretty cool, even though I've never played it. I know that for a lot of people. So that was really cool to see. Aside from that, no Splinter Cell, no update on Beyond Good and Evil 2,
Rip.
which is like, does that game even exist? Is that even a real game?
Uh,
I don't
That's
know.
the real Elden Ring.
Yeah.
That's the real. It doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
And then Skull and Bones as well, man. Like, what happened to that?
ever since Sea of Thieves came out of that Pirates of the Caribbean collaboration, they're like, oh, let us go away.
I guess, man. But
Not
then
gonna lie, that's a
also,
pretty cool collab.
just the fact that there's TV ads within the actual conference as well for the Ubisoft show. Which was just like, I don't know, it just kind of messed with the pacing overall. So
Yeah.
that show was kind of like, it was like the definition of like meh to me.
You mean you weren't excited for Just Dance? Are you serious?
Nah, we're gonna have
Bro,
to pass.
40 new songs. Come on, man.
Hey, man.
Gotta get in that.
You tell me you're in your living room, dancing and
Dude,
using that
every-
game.
We're Puerto Rican. We're always dancing. man.
we always
true.
dancing. I cook, I dance. I clean, I dance.
I cook,
true.
I dance, I clean, I dance.
That's true, but you're dancing.
Gotta
You're
get a shirt
dancing
like that.
You're dancing to like songs like "California Girl" in your living room with Just
Oh.
Dance.
All the-
Yeah, just remember you have to actually thrust your hips,
Yes, sir.
or else the sensor won't actually pick it up.
Yes, sir.
Dang it.
Yeah, man. So the show was just kind of like whatever to me.
Gotcha.
But so if I was to score it out of 10, that show's probably like a 4 to me. So like, what about you guys?
Uh,
I'm thinking.
yeah, I think like 4 is like all right. Like again, as well isn't really amazing, but like the Avatar and the Mario one were kind of standouts to me. But again, the Avatar trailer was CG, and it didn't really show me gameplay. If it showed me gameplay, I would have gave it a higher score. But yeah, 4 sounds about right.
I want to establish something. At least this is my criteria. Whenever for me, a 5, that's average. I know a lot of people consider a 7 an average. That's no. 5 is like middle. That's like average for me. Do we all agree on that, or do we use the IGN metric?
No, yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. So for me, it was like a 5.5, but I would edge it to a 6 because of Mario Rabbids. So it's like above average because of Mario Rabbids. Because I actually invested so much time on that game and I love it. Other than that, that was it. I found one good thing of the whole conference, which is one game to get me excited for in a conference. I remember, Jay, so you mentioned it was like 4 or 5 things at least from a conference.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like a 5 or 5.5. Yeah, around there.
Yeah, I can't give any higher points for CG trailers anymore, man.
Yeah, me
I
too.
want
No.
gameplay.
Yeah.
That's why Mario Rabbids, I don't mind the CG because I know that's like the hand-drawn like beauty of it and just the excitement. And they did show gameplay and they did tease a lot of new things that the gameplay will feature. So that's the only reason it's higher than y'all's. But it's because I played the game, so the first one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll get Mario and Rabbids to based on your recommendation. I'll check it out.
For sure.
All right, man. So that was the usual, or that was the rundown for the Ubisoft conference. I felt like it wasn't as like cringy as like previous years, so I guess that's pretty
Very
good.
true.
Um,
Yeah, not talking about
live
lady
show
boners
dancing.
or anything like that.
yeah. Even though I don't know, I think Aisha Tyler's pretty. She's alright. She ain't that
No,
bad.
she's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
Aisha Tyler, but that lady boner like joke was just like, all right, bro, I get it.
for sure. And then Mr.
Peace out.
Caffeine in 2011. We can't forget about him, man. Can't forget about him.
Yeah.
A legend in our gaming industry right there. So yeah, man, that's the Ubisoft conference. Let's move on to Xbox plus Bethesda. So there was a lot here, man. They gave us Starfield plus a release date, Halo Infinite, multiplayer showcase, a little bit of the campaign, Forza Horizon 5, Redfall, Diablo 2, Stalker 2, Back for Blood, Contraband, The Outer Worlds 2, Sea of Thieves, as Macho said, with the Pirates of the Caribbean crossover, Yakuza Like a Dragon in Game Pass, Battlefield
Hell
2042,
yeah.
Euden Chronicle, which is the makers of Suikoden, I believe.
Yep. Yep.
12 Minutes got a release date. Psychonauts 2 got a release date. Microsoft Flight Simulator got a release date for the Series X and S. Age of Empires 4 release date. Doom Eternal is coming to Xbox Game Pass. Fallout 76 is getting DLC. The Elder Scrolls Online console enhanced edition will be available next week. Party Animals, Hades is coming to Xbox on August 13th.
Yes,
Somerville,
sir.
which is the next game from Limbo and the Inside creators, which I'm very excited for. A Plague Tale
Same.
Requiem, I'm very excited for, coming in 2022.
Yes. That would caught me off guard.
Yes, sir. Far Cry 6 gameplay, Slime Rancher 2, snowboarding game Shredders coming in 2021. Atomic Heart coming to Game Pass day one. Replaced got a trailer, which is a lot of people's favorite game from the show.
It looks incredible. I think it looks incredible. Yeah.
Grounded got a new update. Among Us is getting 15-player lobbies. The Ascent got a release date, and that is it. So, just sort of top level, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the Xbox plus Bethesda conference. A lot of people have been pegging this as Xbox's best E3 ever. Does that hold water for you guys? Is that true?
I think
I
so.
think-
Yeah. As far as
yeah.
presentation, yeah, absolutely.
And what also got me more excited is because now I can think about getting exclusive games, you know? Like with the Starfield thing, maybe if I didn't like have a PC or an Xbox, I'd be like, "Oh, darn it." Because I'm actually excited for that game, not the way that like people might think. It's just the fact that I want to see what this game offers in storytelling and whatever. But I'm excited that I'll be able to play it on Game Pass. But overall, I think it was really damn good. It was a really damn good conference. I'd say probably the best conference, quote unquote, objectively, because it did offer so much. It offered both like brand new titles and like already like established titles that are getting additional treatment, like add-ons and whatnot. But yeah, I think it was a fantastic conference. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I laughed my ass off at the beginning of it when they announced Starfield for 2022 in November.
Yeah,
Because
Dude.
they're trying to be real cute, trying to make it the same release date as Skyrim.
yeah. That I was
Like
I wasn't
10
laughing at that. I was like, I was like, really?
I was laughing so hard just because a lot of people were like, it's a 2021 game, early 2022, it's gonna be amazing. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing, but it's not coming out until like 2022, 2023, the latest. And yeah, they announced it a year out, a year and a half
Yeah.
out, which is kind of crazy.
I don't know. I honestly don't remember last time like a game did that. Like like honestly, I can't remember another game doing that where they're like, yeah, this game they have an exact release date a year away from now. Is pretty nuts. Like usually people would just be like 2022. Well, like Zelda, like how they did it. Like we'll see you in 2022. But to have an exact release date that is more than a year away, not even just a year, it's more than a year away, is kind of crazy.
Well, it makes sense for like not having in-game gameplay. They just had like an in-game or in-engine trailer.
So
something like that.
let's talk about that because that was the thing that really got me was that this game was announced in 2018, mind you, 2018, and we still haven't gotten gameplay for it. Like, was I guess the trailer itself, did that disappoint you guys? Like, were you expecting more? Because I was definitely expecting, like, since it has been 3 years, since we've, heard or seen anything from this game. And even the 2018 announcement was just like, it wasn't even like anything, special. It was just like a tone piece of like a planet. So I was definitely expecting like a deep dive, Todd coming out on stage explaining, kind of like the Fallout 4 reveal. I was really expecting to see like a repeat of that, and we didn't get it. Was Starfield a disappointment for you guys, or was it about what you expected?
It was about what I expected, but the fact that it was announced like in 2018 and that there's saying 2022 now we didn't even get gameplay. I think they probably, I don't know, I'm hoping that they went to a new engine with Starfield, and that's the reason why that they didn't have any gameplay to show or wanted to be ready for E3. With that said, I said before, I'm not a Bethesda guy. I'm not really into the Fallouts or the first-person RPGs. I tried with Outer Worlds. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Couldn't get immersed. But I will say that not the Starfield trailer is what made me interested, at least following the game. It's the concept art that they released afterwards.
Yeah, I saw that.
That concept art, yeah, you saw it, right?
Yeah,
it looks awesome. Yeah.
It gave me
So
Mass
like
Effect
if
vibes.
yeah, yeah. So if they can replicate that into the game and make it look really cool, then I'm gonna be more interested to try it out because those environments look absolutely stunning.
There was one thing that was said after the show because Todd Howard did his rounds afterwards, interviews and whatnot, and he said that this game is going to be more of a hardcore RPG, and it felt like he was saying that directly to me, man. Is Fallout 4, no matter people, I don't think people know what an RPG is because Fallout 4 and Skyrim certainly is not that. So it's nice to see him sort of like get out there and say like, no, this is seemingly going to go back to our roots of like Morrowind, and be a more hardcore RPG because Fallout 4 and Skyrim is definitely not that. So that's what I want. I hope it actually fulfills that sort of promise. So yeah, that's Starfield. Let's move on to Halo, man. How did you guys feel about Halo?
Kick it off.
All right. It
Oh.
looks it looks beautiful. I mean, here's the thing. It's I didn't grow up with Halo, which is where a lot of the fan base comes from, where
Same
they
here.
grew up with this franchise and they were incredibly invested in it. And I didn't get to play Halo until like 2 years ago when I played Combat Evolved, and then I played the rest. And mind you, it's a fantastic series. But I look at what they showed, and I'm just great. All right, new Halo. All right, I can't wait to play it. But I'm not like, what man? I'm not. It didn't blow my socks off. I'm not. I didn't grow up with it. I don't have the nostalgia. I don't have the excitement. But I'm pretty happy. Pretty happy that from what I saw. I'm not a hardcore fanatic that I'm nitpicking at what I saw. I actually thought it looked pretty damn fun. So I'm looking forward to it. I get to actually play it on a PC, which is exciting. So hell yeah, and I
And
think
day
it's gonna be
one,
on
too.
Game Pass, right? Yeah, hell yeah. Like
Day one. Well, the thing about that is, I'm completely in agreement with you. Well, I didn't have any nostalgia for it. I never grew up with Halo. I never even played a Halo game really, except for one time in college. I was in a game, a competition that had video games in it, and we played like different video games. So one of them was for like I think for Street Fighter. The other was for Mario Kart. The other was Halo 3 or something like that. I got we got into Halo 3. I got absolutely destroyed. I never played it. But the multiplayer looks really fun, and I love that it's free to play.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, without a
That
doubt.
that trailer they had was awesome, and the overview
For
was
sure.
even better. I think they have a really good thing on their hands, and hopefully it ends up being good. I think it looks like they're setting trends too because they had like this season pass or something like that, or this battle pass or
Yeah, it never
like that.
expires, which is pretty cool.
yeah
Um,
yeah.
No microtransactions, or at least it's purely cosmetic, I believe. Yeah, they're doing a lot of stuff, really cool stuff with the battle pass. Um, and obviously there's like cross progression as well. So yeah, that's definitely pretty cool. And yeah, I agree. I think the multiplayer looked really really good. I had so much slander for the grappling hook in their first showing last year because it just looks so slow whenever Chief would like grapple onto like a brute. Like go back and look at that trailer and it just doesn't look cool at all. But like in the multiplayer trailer, yeah, the hook looked really really cool.
Yeah, pulling items to you and stuff like that. Yeah,
Right,
that's nice.
right.
Yeah.
And getting on the vehicles with it as well. And the cool thing is that these are like pickups. These aren't things that like you automatically like start out with, that everyone starts out with. Like you have to actually go out and find these items. What's up, Mahmood? Good to see you in the chat. Yeah. So like it's really cool that that's very reminiscent of Halo 3. These pickup items, which is definitely a welcome change. There's no thrusters as well, which is great because Halo 5 that sucked. Nobody liked those.
Did you play the Halo games? What's your history with Halo, actually?
Yeah. I had I had an original Xbox and 360, so yeah, like I played Halo religiously back in the day. There was even Halo 2, like before I think middle school. I would go down to my friend's house down the street, and all my friends would go, before the bus came. We would play like 30 minutes of like multiplayer against each other before the bus came and before we had to go to school.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love the multiplayer for one, the original trilogy, and Reach, was my jam, dude. I love those games. So yeah, it looked really really great. It looked what we want from a modern Halo game essentially, and the campaign looked great too, man. So overall, even though I probably I don't have an Xbox, so I won't be playing it, but overall it looks great. For sure.
Absolutely.
Well, that's actually one of the questions I was gonna ask you guys from this whole presentation, and well, I kind of want to get into this bit on Halo first. I'll ask this question for the Halo, and I'll ask my other question about that. The fact that you touched on the campaign real quick, Jay. The campaign itself, they didn't actually show anything besides some cutscenes, right?
Yeah. I mean
No
that's
gameplay.
that's another thing that people are like kind of, I don't want to say concerned, but like are raising their eyebrows and saying that they didn't give us a release date.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
they showed.
that makes me think that the campaign's gonna be ongoing and not like drop day one.
Well, here's the thing that people are speculating that like we got such an in-depth look at multiplayer. Like they were front and center talking about the multiplayer, giving presentations about it and whatnot. And so people are saying that they're thinking that the multiplayer is ready to go for this holiday, and that we won't see that they're gonna launch the campaign separately at a later date. Is kind of what people are saying.
Yep, I can see that.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, what's the no release date? And they say holiday, so what? November, December?
I think they'll be fine. I think they'll make it.
Yeah, at least the
It's
multiplayer. I think the campaign we got to wait a little bit.
perhaps, man. I don't know. I will admit it was weird because it felt like, yeah, this was their big showcase to do that. But yeah, I suspect we'll get it sooner rather than later. I hope
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's like what was the year spent on then if not, trying to, if not getting it out on time, because it would be really really weird that like, okay, we had the year-long delay and now we're gonna delay the campaign even further. You know what I mean? Like that would be like really weird. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I think if anything, it's probably gonna be like Genshin Impact, where it's like a live service game, and then they release a story out in chunks with chapters. I think that's where that's if I were to like actually really think about what they were going to do. I think that's what it is. They released Chapter 1 and 2, closer to the holiday or something like that, and then the rest of it would be ongoing to fit into the name Infinite. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Infinite content.
Yeah, basically. But the one question that I had after that was, unless Walt, you want to give your thoughts on the restarting the campaign.
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
you already did, kind of, right?
yeah, I touched on how I'm happy, but I'm not really expecting much because I'm not as deep into the lore as other people. I'm excited the Master Chief is back, I guess, because he wasn't like in Reach and not Reach in 5. I haven't played 5, right? He wasn't in Guardians. I think it was
No,
the
he
protagonist or
he
whatever.
was, but they for 3 missions.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
I'm happy that Master Chief. Yeah.
so let's talk about I wanted to talk because I felt like overall this show was like an 8 out of 10 for me. It was like a damn solid show overall. But I felt like, and I'm interested to see what you guys think. I felt like it was really weird to end off on Redfall. Like, yeah, that's a cool announcement, and I love Arcane. But like to end off on a like a CG trailer that like I don't know why everyone is like so hyped for Redfall. Like it was just a CG trailer, and they were like really hyping this up to be like this is our one last thing, our big stinger to end off our conference. Like I don't know, I felt like there was other things that could have ended off the show that had like better showings than Redfall. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. Like, was it weird? Did you guys find it weird that they ended it off on a CG trailer like this?
A little bit, yeah. I was kind of hoping. I know, I'm my gamer brain speaking, not my other smart brain. I was really hoping for something on Fable. I know it was like a very early announcement, and that literally like just started production, and they're literally getting to like the weeds of pre-production. But still, I was kind of hoping for like an update on that and just something to like really for us to grab onto other than that first trailer. For me, the show is like a 6.5. It's because nothing really blew me away. I think it's more of a 7 just because the Sea of Thieves, like Pirates of the Caribbean collaboration was awesome. I'm a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan, so that was really cool to see, and I'll actually like probably maybe down with Sea of Thieves. I heard that it's very hard to get into without friends though. So
Yes, and
I might
I
just
and I ain't playing that, so you're on your own with that.
yeah, I know. Well, you want to join me, Sea of Thieves?
I was gonna tell you. Let me know. We can try it out. It's on Game Pass, so why the hell not? We can.
Oh, for
give it a
real?
sh-
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you gonna
You
run
give
your
it
own
a
little
shot.
pirate crew?
Yeah, man. The Tainos, man.
Yeah.
Gonna
There you go.
Hey man, y'all gonna sail the seas, man.
Sail the
Yeah,
high
man.
seas. That's
We're
right.
gonna go to Spain and do what they did to us. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
Oh
man.
shit.
Um,
I'll let you know, Walt. Yeah, I'll let you know. We could probably play that. But other than
Yeah,
that,
for
yeah, I
sure.
think 7 really falls on. Like, I really liked Halo. I think that the big like thing that come out of it really wasn't really Redfall for me was the fact that a lot of those games are coming to Game Pass. And I think
Yeah.
that's really big.
Yeah.
That's huge. And
Game Pass has a lot coming in.
yeah. So that's why I wanted to like ask Jay before when he said this. I'm not gonna be playing Halo this holiday. Did this conference at all make you even enticed to get an Xbox because of Game Pass? Because that was really what they're selling you.
I mean, at some point I want to build a PC, so like if anything,
There we go.
then
Nice.
I'll do that. But like most of these games were like timed exclusives, so like either way, I'm like, okay, well, I don't mind like waiting, like for some of these things. But then obviously there are things like Hellblade and whatever Arcane is doing that like, okay, yeah, like I do want to play those. But for me, like the biggest things that came out from this conference were things like A Plague Tale, Requiem, Hades, Sable, um, God, what was that indie game? Replaced, right?
Replace the Cyberpunky
Yeah, yeah,
looking
yeah.
one. That one
Replaced.
fantastic.
Yeah, so it was a lot of like the indie titles that I was really into.
Was 12 minutes also
12
announced
minutes
during
as
that?
well, yeah, that game.
Yeah,
I'm
coming
so
to Game
hyped for
Pass
that
as
one.
well. Yep.
Yeah, so it was a lot of like the smaller titles. There's this other game that I don't see a lot of people talking about at all. Atomic Heart, that looked like so cool. That was the game that I was actually like, because it was rumored that Arcane was working on another game, and I was like, this is so Arcane, but I don't even know who the developer is, but it's not Arcane. But that game looked really really cool, and I was like, I really want to play
It
that.
did.
Stalker 2 looks incredible as well. So yeah, it was a lot of like the smaller titles that really impressed me, and like though that list right there, I probably ran through like 5 or 6 games right there that really spoke to me, that really hit me, games that I want to play. And then obviously, like we've talked about Tunic and Sable, which were touched on as well on the conference. And like
Yeah.
overall, man, like everything I just said, it just equates to a show for me personally that really really worked. It's not the peak of like, it didn't reach the heights of PlayStation's 2016 conference or the 2015 conference, but it's definitely up there as like definitely one of like the better shows in recent memory.
And granted, because I do think it for me, a lot of what we're used to seeing wasn't there. The usual conference. It
That's
wasn't the usual
That's
conference.
the scary thing that
Yeah.
we didn't that
Yeah.
they didn't have to show Hellblade or Fable or Avowed, right? Or Machine Games' next title, or right? They have so many studios where they could be like, take the night off. You know what I mean? That's
Absolutely.
that's
Which
pretty
is
crazy.
cool.
Yeah, that they are in a position to do that now. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the pacing, we didn't even touch on the pacing of the show either, and that was another thing that really worked for me. It very reminiscent of like PlayStation's just sort of like boom boom boom, we're just gonna hit you with a bombardment of games to the point where you can't even breathe, you can't even remember what you guys saw two minutes ago. It's a formula that's tried and true, that always works, and they did that here, and that's one of the biggest reasons why it worked for a lot of people, was the pacing.
Absolutely.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
For sure. For sure.
So yeah, man, it was overall a great show for me. 8 out of 10. Macho, you said 7 out of 10. Walt, what about you?
Yeah.
I'd honestly, just 7.5 seems about right, and the extra edge, it's because of Starfield's art and the promise that it shows. Because sci-fi, sign me up always, every day. Like, you give me sci-fi, that's already like 3 points you're getting at the scale. The rest, man, I'm. It's funny to see, oh, Xbox has no exclusives, gets exclusive. No, bro, come on. Like people, I'm happy. I'm happy for Xbox. I'm happy that it's gonna have its own thing, its own games. They're not here yet, but we're getting there. And Game Pass is looking better by the moment. And gotta say, even if Game Pass is not I don't see it as a permanent solution for many people. Many people have it, and that's all they'll have. But it's a good way of dipping your toes into different kinds of games, and then deciding if you want to fully purchase the game for yourself. Hey man, I don't shame anyone that has Game Pass. I have Game Pass. Some people, for some reason, think Game Pass, you're not a real gamer. No, shut the hell up. Play video games, love each other. Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like the attitude that comes with Game Pass.
Yeah.
That I'm seeing sometimes,
Yeah.
where people are just like, "Is it coming to Game Pass? I don't have to pay for games anymore." I get
Yeah,
it. That's such a
no,
cool and
no.
convenient way to explore your games, and I fully
Absolutely.
endorse that because it allows you to actually get into more games than you would have anyways, and that's always a good thing. But I don't like the spoiled brat mentality that comes with that.
Yeah.
That I've seen a couple of times, and it's quite frankly just annoying.
It's almost
That's
like they forget that this is a business as well, because
that's
not
yeah.
everything is gonna go on Game Pass.
That's a good point, because I've been seeing like way more than than ever. It's really weird. The pocket watching, man. Like people being like almost shaming people who are spending, the 60 or $70 on top. Like it's almost now like it's a bad thing to want to buy your games or whatever. I'm just like, let people do what they want with their money, man. Like, why are you so concerned about that?
Yeah, it's the same thing. People are like, they love spending money on headphones or love spending money on TV. It doesn't matter that a new one's coming out in 6 months down the line. That's what they love to do.
Yeah.
And the same
Bro,
thing when it comes to games. People love to support the creators. I love to support my
Exactly.
creators.
Exactly.
So
In something
I'm
as
gonna
simple as
spend whatever
getting a
money I
physical
can.
copy versus a digital. Because some people
Yep.
also
Yeah.
shame for the fact that, oh, you're getting a deluxe, you're getting collectors. Bro, we talked about this last podcast. There's some games that, yo, like if Soul and I agree, Persona 6 announced, I'm day one. I'll give you $100. Like, I don't care. Like, some games, like, just let people be. It's their money and they need it now. Like, shut the hell up. What's going on? God,
Yeah.
hey.
And
Yeah,
then
I mean that's the mentality like I came from it, but
there's
Toxic.
also like God, what was I gonna say? Um,
What?
Damn, I forgot. I forgot because
It was
I'm trying to focus on this
it was
now. Oh, okay. This whole idea. So like, I don't know if you guys saw if like the Metroid Dread thing. People are now saying that like, oh, that game's not worth like $60 or like it's so like they're only willing to pay like $10 for the game. And I feel like it's kind of like a result of Game Pass. Like more than ever, people are like saying, that full price games aren't like worth it anymore or whatever. Like same thing with Ratchet and Clank when this came out. People are literally saying that that's not worth, full price. And I don't know, like sure, like to each of their own. Like that's up to everyone. Like everyone's gonna have like a different like worth. What they find is worth full price and whatnot. But like,
for sure.
don't tell me that Metroid Dread isn't worth $60. Don't tell me that Ratchet and Clank isn't worth the full price. Like let me make that decision for myself. Like I don't need you to do that for
Yeah.
me. Um,
yeah,
yeah.
it's Nintendo's just been like on a really shaky ground when it comes
Which
to
is fair.
even
Yeah,
pricing their games.
absolutely fair.
And a 2D Metroid, I feel like that'll be worth the price of entry. But then again, we have other 2D Metroidvania games that are like go for $20-$30. I think that's where people are coming at with that. But
Sure.
I do agree that Game Pass probably has some sort of inclination to how people look at value now. Because whenever someone talks to you about Game Pass, it's like, oh, it's value, it's value, it's value. You're getting all these games and it's value. Yeah, it's true, but there's also the value venue at McDonald's, and how value really is that? Because you're getting trash
Yeah.
food,
Exactly.
So like I feel like it's a very I feel like
Trash.
I feel like it's a very like case by case basis. Game Pass is getting better games, so that means the value is just increasing in terms of people's perception. With PlayStation 5 and Ratchet and Clank, we're getting DualSense support, we're getting all these high fidelity graphics that look insane, and all these other features that make it, in people's eyes, $70 worth. And it's going to be the same thing with Metroid, whatever that comes with, whatever it looks like, whatever people come off of it on. It's going to be worth something to someone that's $60 worth.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Agree.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, that was. I don't know if we have really much else to really say about the Xbox conference. I think if I had one little nitpick, which again, like I said, man, I gave the conference. It was a really good conference. If I have one little nitpick, just Japanese support, right? They had the Yakuza going to Game Pass announcement, and then they had the Yukenin Chronicle announcement, and that was it. So
Yeah, that was a really good announcement actually on the Game Pass.
yeah.
Everybody's been wanting kind of like a Suikoden successor, and that looks like it's going to be it. So
Yep.
happy for them on that one. That one's going to be cool.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's kind of like my big like gripe, I guess, is just like I need a little bit more Japanese support from them. But other than that, man, it was a strong showing.
Yeah, solid.
So let's move on to Square Enix. Let's get it, Macho.
Bah, 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 bah.
Oh,
Macho.
boy.
I'm I'm gonna let you take it away, man, because they basically showed, what Life is Strange, the collection. They showed Colors, the new trailer for that. Marvel's Avengers. They showed the Wakanda expansion. Uh,
Guardians.
yep, they showed Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they showed what else? Did they show, Macho? I'm forgetting something. Am I?
God.
Yeah, it's a strange name. I forget.
Yeah. It's a Stranger of Ass is what they just
Oh man.
Oh,
God damn.
Stranger of Ass is what they show. What?
Jesus. First of all,
All right,
wait.
so-
Let me preface this. Let me preface this by saying that I feel like like when you hear the words Neo and Final Fantasy, right? That sounds like a combination, like a match made in heaven, right? Like I'm salivating at the idea of that, man. I'm rubbing, I'm licking my lips, man. I'm rubbing my hands. I'm,
Oh man.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited for that, right?
hold up.
My blood's pumping. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
But Macho, apparently I shouldn't be excited. What's going on, man?
Man. I guess we can just jump into that. We could talk about the other stuff a little afterwards. But Stranger of Paradise, dude. I'm rubbing my eyes right now because I'm like disappointed. It's like I said, it sounded like a match made in heaven. See, when the rumors coming out that it was like a Dark Souls inspired Final Fantasy, that to me, and it was on Final Fantasy 1, which is like that serves like it's a pitch perfect, like on paper it sounds amazing. Then where you really find out it's like a Neo, and I'm like, okay, Neo isn't really like kind of my thing. And then you saw the trailer, and my God, that trailer is abysmal. It's probably one of the worst reveal trailers I have seen. No cap. It's like it's that bad, because just like the pacing of it's weird. It doesn't look good at all. It looks super cringy, and it looks like they just thrown Final Fantasy elements disingenuously in there. And if you called it Neo 3, I would believe you. Because that's essentially what it looked like and what it feels like when you're playing.
Bro, like even Neo has something going for it, because if you call that Neo 3, that no, you have another fan base feeling the same, but in regards to Neo, no, that because I played it, and bro, having played both Neos and like enjoyed both of them, that ain't it.
Now, see, there you go. I only played Neo 1. I thought I was okay. I was very lukewarm on it. And then I played through the demo and actually beat the boss. So I have some accreditation here as far as like whether I think it's good. It was very bland.
Yep.
I mean, the gameplay was fine. The gameplay, what it does is like it enhances the job system from the Final Fantasy games. So like whether you want to be like a paladin or a warrior or a monk or whatever the case may be. In the demo, you could play as a lancer, a warrior, and a black mage. I think it was. I think something else, probably like a soldier or something. And you're able to switch these with the different weapons you have, and each weapon has like its own moveset that you can unlock and its own skill tree. Which, by the way, the skill tree display, the way it looks exactly like Final Fantasy 15. So that kind of threw me off there. And then the gameplay was pretty good. It was mostly just like you were relying on this parry system. That was pretty fun, where you every time you block an attack or you parry an attack, you gain a little bit of magic, which allow you to use your abilities when it comes to whether you're black mage or using your strong attack if you're like a warrior or something like that. And overall, the gameplay was actually pretty good. It's just the flow of the battles, so going from enemies to enemies, felt very hollow and meaningless. Nothing really felt rewarding. The environments were drab and boring and gritty to a fault. And the level design was just as bad. So I don't know what they can fix, what they can improve before their release in supposedly 2022. But it has to be like a level design perspective and just making it feel rewarding, because it's not here. It's not at all. Not even in the boss fight where I was playing it, and I was actually having pretty fun. But then I look back at my footage of like how the gameplay was and how kind of like the boss like rhythms, and it looks so sloppy and boring just to even look at. And it's I don't know, man. Like I feel like there's a lot more needs to be done here, and it just feels too. I don't want to say lazy because I hate using that term from developers developing a game, but it just comes across like that. Yes, it comes off very uninspiring. Yeah, it really feels like they just took like the Neo formula and just want to throw in Final Fantasy elements in there.
They took the Neo Alpha build and put some Final Fantasy on it. Because let me tell you, one of the biggest things that, like, as soon as you start the demo, it puts you in this grassland type thing, and it's very similar to the area in Neo, which is like a tutorial area as well, and like practicing and whatnot. The difference is, like, even the way it's approached, because the grasslands in Neo, it does give you a sense of if something lurking in the grass is. Over here, it's like nothing for miles and miles. There's nothing, and then a goblin appears, and it's so underwhelming. The way the characters like just move, it feels so like this model was like rendered yesterday. Like what was happening? Like I don't know not to discredit the hard work that the developers might have gone through if they went through it, but come on, man, I would put this energy into something else or into making I would put this same energy into this very game and like delay it upon don't give a date. Just work on it. Just try to make it. It really reminded me the way that they're making the level design. It reminded me of Ys Origin, where you go level by level and like you go to different floors and different bosses. Ys Origin did it better though. This feels bland as hell.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I was very disappointed.
It doesn't have an identity. Like I mentioned to you a couple of days ago, it feels like it doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, that's a great point too. I remember. Yeah, I love that you said that because that's exactly what it felt like. Where after I played the demo, I didn't think about it. I didn't care. I wasn't eager to play any more than what the demo suggested. Yeah, I just took the survey and I gave my hard opinion on it, and I try to be at least I wanted to provide the constructive criticism and like their feedback, so I reflected that in my survey for them. And yeah, overall, I was just very disappointed. And don't even get me started on the character designs.
God, what you think of that very, very interesting cast of characters?
I'm not gonna harp on the outfits that they were wearing because they actually went in an interview and discussed like there's a reason for why they're like that, and it actually ties into the Final Fantasy 1. Yeah, it ties into like the Final Fantasy 1 motif and like what Final Fantasy 1 actually does, like as a story that makes it really interesting. So I can see where they're going from there, even if it's not that good. But yeah, the character design themselves, it's another generic white male, another generic angry man that wants to go after the world. It just feels very uninspired. I feel like they could have done better with it, or at least done something that's a little more interesting.
You know who has more interesting characters? Destruction All-Stars.
That's true. Actually.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it that bad?
It is. Jay, it's that bad. Jay, it's that bad.
Jesus. Yeah, it's very true. Like these characters are kind of just like, I get it. Really, we just came into the demo, so it's not really character focused.
Of course.
But the thing is, it's like one of the things that what makes Final Fantasy super cool is your characters. So make them good, So, and this just didn't really do any. I'm just still confused on why you have party members. I understand it's like a Final Fantasy thing, but like the AI is like brain dead. They suck.
Yeah. And I was telling Macho the other day that this game would do exponentially different if it didn't have Final Fantasy in the title. Because with Final Fantasy, you put Final Fantasy in the title, you're already setting expectations. There's a certain type of quality that Square has when they make a Final Fantasy game. It can be any of them. touch any era. There's a quality to them that you can't. It's unmatched. The storytelling unmatched, characters unmatched, and this ranges from 7 to 8 to 13 to even 15 to a degree. Because say what you might say about 15. The 4 main lead roles, the bromance, the relationships, incredible. But this demo, these are husks. The Ashen one from Dark Souls 3 is more interesting, and that one doesn't even talk. Because that's the thing. It's worse when you try to give a character personality and just comes off as the most generic thing, instead of like with Neo, you have established character. He, from a lore perspective, he's already the way he is. You give him context. He set out to be like not that of a social butterfly, quote unquote. He's a very lone wolf type of deal. There's no expectations, but with Square, you got you got Cloud, you got like Tifa, you have Lightning, you have people like Noctis, you have Squall, you have all these characters that are like actually intricate, and then you go into Chaos. I need to defeat Chaos. Shut the hell up. No.
I think what they're setting up here is obviously because Final Fantasy 1's story is very like intricate and it's actually really good.
Yeah.
I think what they're setting up with that is that this guy Eminem wants to go after Chaos to become Chaos. I think that's my fan theory, that he wants to go after Chaos to become him, and that's where you pivot into the actual Warriors of Light, or the case may be.
That's already more interesting than playing the demo. Listening to you, I'm not yawning. I yawned, and that's a rare feat. That's a rare thing for me, guys. When I yawn during a video game, there's a problem. You know, the last time I yawned during a video game, No Man's Sky. Oh, wow. That was the last time I yawned during a video game. Was it? No. That's why I feel so strongly about this, because it's like you and hearing Macho, you know how the utter passion. And I feeling that same like kind of excitement, and then you see this. It's like you don't want to shit on them. You want them to do better.
Exactly.
You know, I do this out of love. I'm like Thanos. Like he starts crying, and Gamora's like, "Why are you crying?" It's like, "I'm gonna kill you," but it's out of love. You know.
God. Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm like so hard on it, and why I'm saying the trailer is just horrible. That reveal trailer was absolutely horrible, and then this gameplay demo just didn't really do anything. So I'm hoping they can fix it. I sincerely do hope so, because I think they have something really cool in mind. It just needs to be executed better, and yeah, it needs to live up to that quality, because right now it's absolutely not.
Yeah, so I think we can all agree that Stranger of Paradise is
Damn, that shit is a 2-pack of ass.
He was waiting for that one.
I was waiting, man.
Thank you for letting us rant on that, so we can end off on that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know
after
the
all this,
vibes.
I'll construct the criticism, and then at the end off, it's a 2-pack of ass.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes, man. You know the vibes.
Oh man.
I love you, Square. I love you.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess I honestly, I guess we could touch on the Guardians game as well. What did you guys think about that? Because I thought I guess my opinion is really, really simple, is that I for one liked the banter between the characters. That alone makes me want to play it. But the combat, man, oh my god, the combat looks so boring.
The funniest thing I've seen from that, it was at least they're following the movies, making it 24 frames per second.
Oh man,
that was a wild tweet. I was like, damn, you know what, you right.
Yeah,
it wasn't running well.
It looks like it can, like, honestly, it looks like it needs like a little bit more time in the oven. I'm a little bit shocked at the 2021 release date. But literally, for real, like a little bit more time like in the oven. Like God, if this game came out in like March, I feel like it would be okay. Like it would like texture wise, everything looks like smooth. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look like it has like much textures at this point. But Yeah, I feel like they could clean some of that up if it had a little bit more time. But the combat, man, I don't know. That feels like they would need like a year to like fix that because it just did not look that exciting at all.
It didn't.
I will say before we get into your thoughts and then we get into the scores after that, I will say that I like the focus on single player. I like that this isn't going to be a live service thing or a multiplayer thing, or it's not going to be chasing after what Avengers did, that this is strictly a single player focused game in the vein of Spider-Man, and I think that's really, really cool.
And you're only playing as Peter Quill too, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's a smart decision.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
So, you guys have any further thoughts of Guardians before we give Square a grade?
For starters, Mantis though. I don't know.
That's
man.
right. That's right, Walt.
Mantis,
That's
man.
right.
Hey yo,
That's
I'm
right,
rubbing my
yo. You
hands,
know
man.
how it is. You know how it is.
I'm looking like a praying mantis right now. Know what I mean, man? Bro, when they cut, like, it was quick. It was like, boom, Mantis. Here's. I'm like, hold up. You can't just gloss over that. What it? Gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate the designs. We're so spoiled with the MCU and all this kind of thing with, casting and whatever, that people they compare when Avengers was first announced, they started calling like Dollar Store Captain America and Hulk and all this.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the comparing between the two. Like I
don't
want them to
like
be
it.
different.
Exactly. That's the thing. And I really, really enjoy what they did with the characters. It's like half MCU, half like comics, because Gamora very much looks like what she looks like dead on the comics. I love the personalities they come through. They're the people you know, even if it's only MCU, you've never read the comics, the people you know and love. Comes to the same thing I said before, sci-fi. Guardians is sci-fi. You'll be, even if it's linear, you'll be traveling across the galaxy, being guardians of it. Am I right? It looks exciting. I agree with Jay. The combat needs work. It might not be day one if that's how the combat is looking. I might just wait and see if there's any bugs and all this spiel. But other than that, I'm looking forward to it. More than Avengers because it's not live service. I'm all for that single player. And there's some decision making that does influence some parts. That's what they're hinting at.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. You can make like your own story or whatever. I'm excited, man. And Mantis, hey, bring it.
Yeah, I'm in tandem with you guys. I'm in the same realm. It looks cool. It was a pleasant surprise actually that they started out with.
Absolutely.
And I did like how they went into detail with it. I was surprised by the release date, but with that said, I am looking forward to it. Roughly, not like I don't know if it's gonna be day one,
Exactly.
but regardless, I'm like interested because I think they nailed like the art style and kind of like the flavor of Guardians.
For
Like
sure.
the whole
Yeah.
color palette, and I think it's there. And so that was what makes me interested, really. And then, I think it looks good.
Oh, yeah.
I'll keep an eye on it. But other than that, I think the gameplay needs a bit of work.
And like the funny part is that they spent like a goddamn quarter of their conference on the game, dude.
Yeah. Almost half an hour of just Guardians.
I was like, yo, like I'll give them the props that they like unabashedly showed like gameplay, which has been some of my biggest complaints with some of these other conferences. But there comes a point where it's like, okay, guys, like it's too much. It's too much, man. Like I appreciate it.
Gameplay?
Yeah. I appreciate it,
Yeah,
but
no,
let's
they
move
did a
on,
good
man. We pressed on time here, man. The clock's ticking, so let's get it moving, man.
I think they knew that made with their announcements, because that's one thing. Like Macho, I don't know you, but I legitimately got excited when they announced the 1 through 6 like 2D remaster,
Oh, yeah.
pixel remaster.
I want to bang my head against the table.
Bro, I saw some
When I
reactions
saw
to that.
when I saw that Steam mobile, bro, come on. Like I got Steam, okay, but god damn, like it gave me flashbacks of trying Chrono Trigger on Steam and just being the mobile port. No, I'm scared. Now I'm scared. But hey, I'm excited for whatever Square does. I'm always excited. I criticize out of love, like Macho. Same with.
they're gonna get this work from me right now in that
Oh,
Pixel
man.
remaster.
Oh
They're
man.
gonna get this
No.
work from me. Square, y'all know I love it.
Yikes.
I pay $70 for your Steelbook.
Oh
Final
man.
7 remake.
But,
You're gonna get this
Oh,
work
man.
from me on that Pixel remaster, releasing one at a time on mobile.
Bro,
Pixel
bro.
remaster? What?
Yeah, that's a wild man.
Come on,
wild.
dude!
Honestly,
Like
you
you're
know-
sitting on a hotbed of money with making
Yeah.
them into Octopath Traveler like
Oh,
games.
like Dragon Quest is doing, bro.
Exactly. Perfect example. Like Dragon Quest 3 3.5D or something like that.
Yeah,
Dragon
the
Quest
2HD, 2D HD, whatever.
Yeah. Perfect example. Literally
like
make
Octopath,
1 through
yeah.
5 like that. Make Chrono Trigger like that. Like,
Oh,
come on, dude. It's not that hard. People have been wanting this for a long time, and they're just like sitting on their ass giving us a Pixel remaster. And it doesn't even look
Bro.
that different either. I got their press release, and the press release literally said nothing about what they're actually doing to these games to make them a quote unquote remaster. And they released that like 40-second trailer with like random scenes popping up. You can't really see any difference. And they're again
Yeah.
releasing it one by one. Like,
Yeah.
come
if
on, dude.
if
What
Square
a lame
if,
announcement.
if Square had like an unlimited amount of like workforce and money, and like that was the thing, like infinity, like a perfect world would be where you get a remake of every Final Fantasy, like up until 7, like we're doing with 7, like a remake of 6, of 5, in that same glory that 7 remake is, but that's not our reality. Like
Yeah.
that's one thing that people fantasize about a lot. It's a 6 remake with Terra and all this.
Which would be
That would be
super
amazing.
cool.
That would be amazing, but realistically, they didn't even announce part 2 or like talk about part 2 remake, which we're calling it part 2 for now. Might as well have another. I don't expect it to have like Final Fantasy remake part 2. It might have like a subtitle. But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what Square Enix does.
So yeah, man. That was Square, man. It didn't really. I'd probably give it like a 4 out of 10 as well. What about you guys? Before we move on.
A crispy 5, completely average, and it's because of Guardians. And that's the thing with all these conferences. There's always that one game that edges it up. If not, it was gonna be like a 4.5. But this is like a 5, just nothing more, nothing less. It was because I don't have that same like. I'm excited. I'm as I love these games like Macho, but I don't have that same passion. If not, I would be lower because that Strangers of Paradise thing that was pretty bad.
What about you, Macho?
My passion's giving it a 3.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Yeesh.
I felt it.
I'm so upset by
That
by
stinks.
And
Alright,
and
man.
the glowing thing from that presentation was Guardians of the Galaxy.
And it was supposed to be, and I
That
felt
says
like
a
it was.
lot.
I feel like it was supposed to be Stranger in Paradise. Like that was the thing that they were. I felt like they were hoping would be like their stinger.
Big reveal.
Yeah, and then it just
Come
sucked.
on,
Yeah.
man. How can you release that trailer and hope that?
Yeah, it sucks. And also, this is
You
this
know?
is these. Man, I really want to move on, but we haven't even touched on Babylon Falls, man. What the hell happened to that game?
No,
What the hell happened to that game?
No,
Stop! No! Stop!
No,
Jay.
I really needed to play the 2-pack of ass for
Come
that
on.
game, man.
no,
Oh,
bro.
man.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell
That
happened?
was-
That legit gave me a headache.
I
It
have
just gave me a
never,
headache.
I have never seen a downgrade like that, man. Not only in like
That
the
was
This is from the
True
visuals,
masters of action games.
not
That's
not
why
only,
it's called Babylon's Fall. It fell so hard.
but like not only
like-
from like visuals, like speaking of like a downgrade, but also just like the type
live
of game
service.
that it is. Yeah, it's a live service game now. Like what?
service.
Why?
Come on, bro. When they first announced this game, you have no idea. I was like, oh, yo, this is like some anime Dark Souls. Like, I was like, Code Vein. Like, no, like this is how you do it. I was like, now this is where it's at. This looks good. this looks action. Platinum? What? Like, I was like, ham. And then this conference happened. I'm like, no, you have to be kidding me. When I saw four people like running around, I'm like, no. I already signed up for the beta to see how it runs. Because honestly, wow.
Yeah, it's sad. It's just sad, man. Like Platinum, man. Come on, man. We love you, but sometimes y'all, yeah, I don't know, man.
Y'all pack a two
yeah.
2-pack of ass.
Yeah, for real. We used to put some respect on your name now, but not anymore, man. I don't know what's going on, man.
Nier Automata can only take you so far, bro.
I guess so,
Bro.
man. All right, man. So let's quickly. I mean, I guess we could like brush over Capcom since like nothing really happened there.
The House of Ashes?
Was anything? Did anything happen there? You guys want to talk about? Because I don't have anything.
No, it was just the House of Ashes thing, right?
No, I mean, maybe, I don't know, but I think the one thing that's coming out of Capcom in the next couple months that I'm really excited for is Ace Attorney.
Bandai?
The Ace Attorney collection with Phoenix Wright's ancestor. I love the Phoenix Wright and Ace Attorney games, so that's what I'm looking forward to a lot. But yeah, there's nothing really coming out of Capcom. Again, no Street Fighter 6 like I predicted. But no Resident Evil 4 remake, no Monster Hunter Rise for PC, no Marvel's Capcom, sadly.
And I think you're seeing like a trend. Like this was the biggest story of E3 for me is count Square, Capcom, even Ubisoft, Take-Two conference, the Gearbox conference, like this idea of I feel like E3 is becoming like arbitrary. Like, don't come to this to E3 if you don't have anything to show, right? Like you don't need to put on a conference. Like, only put on a conference when you have like a worthwhile lineup to actually show up and present stuff with, because otherwise I feel like you're just wasting people's time, right? Like, I didn't need the Gearbox thing, I didn't need the Take-Two thing, I didn't need the Capcom thing, I didn't even really need like the Square Enix thing. Like, I feel like if you could put the Guardians of the Galaxy demo in like the Xbox conference or like a future Sony conference, like that would have been fine, man. So like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like this.
My mistake. I said that's Bandai. I was saying that's Bandai, House of Ashes. Capcom. What Capcom did that I already had on my radar was the Monster Hunter stories, because I do like the tactical, the turn-based RPG thing that they're doing in the anime. I like that series. And they did announce that they're working on Resident Evil Village DLC.
Right.
But that's it. That's nothing really big happened.
Before we move on to Nintendo, what would you guys score Capcom?
One. I don't know. I didn't really engage in it. I thought it was very meh and forgettable.
Yeah.
You know those 3 points I mentioned earlier? 3 for the game that I was looking forward to, but it wasn't even because of the conference. So, 3.
Yeah, I'm probably a 3 as well.
And mind you, I want to make this clear. We're oversimplifying things. We don't want to disregard the hard work that these people went through to make this conference happen. You know, because people like to talk shit. I'm just laying that out. We're about constructive, and we're about just encapsulating what we felt. That's it. We're not disregarding anything. Just making that sure. You know?
Yeah. I don't want my scores to reflect any sort of disrespect towards how these people conduct their shows or the games or anything like that. It's just I'm just a passionate fan, so and I don't want to lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. So it's just how I feel. But
definitely,
yeah, all the respect to the people making these games. Absolutely.
And I feel like we're not even like slandering like the games like too much. We're just talking about like the show overall, like what was within the shows and how they were presented and whatnot.
We're just that
Oh
positive.
no! I was slandering Stranger of Paradise.
Well, some of these titles actually deserve the slander. We ain't gonna sit here and act like it's all rainbows and kittens when it's actually raining dog shit and you know what I mean.
Oh
Oh,
god, I got that
man.
visual in my head.
Oh man, that is awful.
Oh,
Oh,
let's
that visual I
bro.
did not need in my head. It said raining
Disgusting.
dog shit.
Disgusting.
let's talk about
man.
let's talk about Nintendo, man, before we get out of here. Nintendo, I think they had a pretty solid conference as well, man. I think my standouts.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I think my standouts was Metroid. Obviously, that was
Yes,
really
sir.
awesome to see.
Yes,
Obviously, the ending stinger of Breath of the Wild 2. Another look at that. WarioWare, Mario Party. Yeah, man. So what about
Mario Party?
Mario Party, the Superstars thing. Hey, I'm glad that they're like. I know we have this hardcore, like more like strategy-based Super Mario Party that we released, but here's more fun. This is more fun. 'Cause I
Oh,
agree. The
and
last-
SMT5 as well, man. That was probably my standout.
Yeah, and I never played it, but I've seen a lot of love for it. Advanced.
Oh yeah,
Advanced
Advanced
Wars,
Wars.
yeah.
Advanced Wars. Like I never played that, but seeing the excitement, and I actually got to see a little bit. I'm like, doesn't look bad. It looks like fun, so I might pick that up. Shin Megami Tensei. Now listen, when like it has been too long since they last they teased it. They gave the cinematic. They gave the barren wasteland and the demons gnawing on you.
Wait, why are you talking
Oh,
like
this is
that?
gonna
What happened to your voice, man?
Because it's dark. It's gritty. It looks like Shin Megami Tensei. It reminded me of Nocturne. I mean, it's the same franchise. I've never officially played a Shin Megami Tensei game. I've always wanted to play one on the Switch. We got the remake, but no, I wanted like a title for the Switch. This is why I was so excited for this one. It looks a lot of fun. The combat looks fantastic, super fun. Your standard, Shin Megami Tensei, like Persona S with your weaknesses and your different kinds of creatures based on different mythology. You got your Jack Frost, you got your Shivas, like your what we know and love from Persona, but in a darker setting. Because this is where Persona was born from. Persona was born as a spin-off from Shin Megami Tensei. I'm excited for that one. I love the design of the protagonist. I love the crazy form he has. The person has. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for that one. Breath of the Wild.
Hey man, really
Bro.
quick. I thought the main character was looking kind of sexy until I found out it was a guy, man. I was like, oh man.
Hey, man. Hey. Not gonna lie. Like,
Wow,
when
y'all
I
got
first-
baited.
Yeah, I got baited big time,
Y'all
man.
got baited.
I was like, hold up, man. She
So
looking
it's
kind
a
of
guy.
nice.
So it is a guy officially, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I was saying it's he, she, because like first I was like, cool, and then the transformation happened. I'm like, okay, but then I read. Now you tell me, I'm like, oh, I don't roll that way, but still looking good. You know what I mean?
Hey,
No
you
offense.
do
know what I
do
mean?
your thing, man.
You do you, man.
hilarious.
But it looks fun. It looks fantastic.
Like,
I love
yo,
it.
this guy's kind of sexy. What?
Hey, man, bro, you packing, bro.
That's funny shit.
No,
dude.
no, it looks good. It looks good. I like it. What? Continue,
Oh,
so
man.
you were expressing
no.
your love for the Nintendo.
I was expressing my love for that man, dude. That's what I was doing, man. Pause, man. Pause, man.
Hold up.
Boss, we ain't that kind of podcast.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
man.
I wanna reassure the people we ain't that kind of podcast, man.
Yeah, we ain't.
You
But
gotta
it
look
does
elsewhere
look-
for that content, man. You gotta look elsewhere.
No, we ain't.
Yeah,
Go
no,
to-
we will make a separate podcast. The DualShocker
Oh
podcast.
man.
Do you, yeah.
But
The
what about
Shocker and the Sensical
you?
podcast.
Oh man. What about you, Macho?
Dude, I
What
can
did
sense
you
this.
what did you think about the conference?
It was very entertaining. I liked it a lot.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
There's a couple announcements there I thought were pretty cool. One of them being the Mario and Rabbids stuff, which was from Ubisoft. Wait, was that Ubisoft and Nintendo?
No, I think it was just Ubisoft.
It is Ubisoft.
Okay, it was just Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is a Switch only.
But they didn't
Yeah, I
show
mean
that.
the biggest
Go ahead.
no the biggest surprise for me was a Metroid. That was really cool.
Dread?
I think her outfit, yeah, I think her outfit looks cool. I got serious like Dead Space Metroid
Yes.
vibes from it,
Yes.
and I thought that was super unique. So
Hell
I think, and it's kind of ridiculous how this game's like been 15 years in the making.
True that.
So
that.
that's a little ridiculous, but other than that, I think it looks really cool. I'm looking forward to that. They did a nice gameplay breakdown of that too, which is nice.
Like the idea of having these unstoppable forces around you, from what we know, and Dread
Yeah.
is very much in like it makes sense. You're
It's
dreading
very, it's very horror-like. It's very Resident Evil 2-like. Like Mr.
It
X
is.
always following you.
in a good Nintendo kind of way,
Yeah,
love
so
it.
I think that's gonna be cool. If they can nail that, that'll be awesome.
yeah.
I love my Metroidvanias, so this one I'll definitely be
love it.
looking forward to. Sadly, nothing on Donkey Kong. It feels like Donkey Kong's been getting like
Or Bayonetta.
shelved.
Or Bayonetta or Metroid Prime 4, but they mentioned that they're working on it. But yeah, nothing
Well,
on Bayonetta.
I would fucking hope so, man.
I mean, hey, they say how it's coming along well. Just admit it, man. It takes time. Like, just say like it's hard. It's hard developing during these times. We get it. They can take their time. They're giving us Dread as like here while we work on this. Here you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good overall.
Breath of the Wild
Yeah,
2,
yeah,
man. Were you guys surprised at the 2022 release date, or was that just kind of like, yeah, I pretty much expected that?
They say they're aiming for 2022. It means it's gonna come out in 2024.
Yeah.
I was surprised that we even got to see gameplay. Not that
I'm
we
not.
saw.
I was like, we
That's not-
needed.
that's
I was
not-
like, yeah, we needed to see
No,
gameplay.
No, we need it, but I was very surprised that because Breath of the Wild for me had this veil of complete mystery. They gave this little like cinematic teaser, and that was it. And I was expecting more cinematic, but not legit gameplay. So when I saw like the fire like breathing whatever a gauntlet, when I saw the reversing time ability, like actual new abilities. The water thing where you go through solid objects, like actually new things of a new game. That's what caught me by surprise, and the fact that we're heading to the skies. One of the things that people complained about Breath of the Wild, it was that it felt empty for some reason. For me, it never felt empty. It felt empty and like boring and whatever. In my mind, instead of saying make it smaller, I was always like, oh, I want more. Like, make this a bigger map. In my mind, I will make this bigger. And Breath of the Wild 2, we're going to the skies? Bro, come on. I'm excited. Give me more. I want more. Just drench me in Breath of the Wild. I love that game. It's one of my all-time favorites. But I don't want to be. I don't want to get wet. I just want to experience greatness.
All right, man. Yeah, let's.
Well, sometimes it's the same thing, man. Sometimes it's the same thing.
Let's. Hey, man. Let's wrap it up,
Hey,
man.
man.
I stand for long hair Link. If
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is Link.
Yeah, man.
Some people are kind of had some theories on who this character you're playing as. That's not Link, which is actually pretty cool. But yeah,
For sure.
I stand for long hair Link. I think he looks dope.
Hell yeah, man.
It's a cool
It's been
look.
a while. He hasn't had a haircut in 100 years. Hey, man, he needs...
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I never finished Breath of the Wild, but this one, if it's and curiosity, I guess, is one of its core themes as the first game, then I think I'm okay with jumping into it. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully, they
Yeah,
actually
I
add more music to the open world.
Yeah, it was
The
very
freaking
subtle.
exploring in silence was boring as hell.
It was for me. It was very subtle because for me it wasn't complete silence because you did have like the wind and like the water. And for me, that got me immersed. For me, uh, and the occasional like battle music or like actual like beautiful music popping on. Um, One thing
Yeah, fair point.
that I saw people like disappointed is that they wanted. I mean, we don't know. We might as well. We might get her as playable, but they wanted Zelda as a playable character in Breath of the Wild too.
And yeah, we
Um,
don't know
Yeah.
that yet.
we
If it
don't
will
know
be
that.
or
That's the
not.
thing. But that's another thing of people jumping the gun and y'all shut the fuck up. Wait until Morn's announced.
Jesus.
Wait until Morn's like people.
God damn.
If people shut up more, we're happier. People are if people shut up more, people can be happier. Did y'all know that? It's free.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
So I feel like we could kind of touch on this as well. Also, like, hey man, Horizon, y'all can put out that release date now. Y'all don't have anything to worry about now.
Seriously,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Seriously,
You
the
put it out.
coast is clear.
Yes, sir. But now like 2022 is like a bloodbath, man. So like, so you got God of War, Zelda, if it does launch, Starfield, and Elden Ring. Like that lineup alone
Oh,
is a pretty packed 2022, man. For at least for like the game of
Man,
the year
oh,
running, yeah, that's cool.
Jake. So correct me if I'm wrong. If I read that and that was just a rumor. But is FromSoft like? Do they have like another like project that is like? There's a code name like Velvet Veil or something.
I mean, it's just a rumor, so like,
Okay, so like, okay, thank you.
but
'Cause
it's not coming out in
I,
2022.
I no, it's not. But you said Elden Ring, and that and like it sparked that memory in my mind. I wanted to confirm because y'all are also on top of this. Thank
Right,
you for clarifying.
right. So like, I feel like this is like too early, like to do like game of the year predictions, but like, man, if you guys had to put money on it, I guess, okay. Here's I'm gonna take this question a little bit differently. From the four games I just listed, is there any possible chance that one of those titles doesn't make Game of the Year, like the running for Game of the Year?
I think Horizon won't.
Starfield,
Starfield out of that four?
because it's not coming out in 2022.
Oh man,
Ooh, okay.
what are you
I think
saying, man?
Horizon.
You got
I'm saying it's not coming out in
you
2022.
got some inside knowledge or something?
This
What's going on,
man,
man?
yeah, man.
Yeah. Let's just say my PlayStation Insider, his senses are tingling.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
no, I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling. I think it's coming. I think I honestly think that Elden Ring is probably gonna take the cake, but I don't know. I feel like Starfield's definitely gonna make an impact too because of the hype around it.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey man,
it really
let's.
depends on that writing quality and that story, and if they could really knock the RPG mechanics out of the park, man.
And if the
If they can't
game
nail those, then it's not gonna be Game of the Year
and
contender.
if the game can run more than 10 frames per second, as well.
Yeah, yeah,
We gonna need that.
exactly.
We gonna need that.
Yeah, it needs to be clean, to be real clean.
So
What else is in that running? Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, God of
Wild,
War,
God of War,
Starfield, and Elden Ring.
Horizon.
Nah, Horizon's this year. Well,
Is it though?
we're working under that assumption. We're working under that assumption.
Okay, okay.
They have
Yeah,
yet,
My
yet
mind.
to say
that's gonna be
otherwise.
So here's the thing.
that's gonna be
It's
tough. That's gonna be
interesting
real tough.
because two of those contenders are follow-ups to Game of the Year to like games of the year. You got God of War and you got Breath of the Wild.
And From
So for
Software's
me,
had a Game of the
and
Year
FromSoft,
2 years ago.
so you got
Yeah,
three.
Sekiro.
You got true Sekiro. So you got three contenders that already had a Game of the Year. Honestly, God, wow, that's hard. Oh, my mind. I don't think Starfield will win, but I do think God of War might win. If it even comes out in 2022.
Well, my thing with God of War and then Breath of the Wild too is that one of the other is probably gonna have the criticism of that it's too much of the same,
Mm,
or it's too similar to its previous game.
Man, but like, I,
that's such a
and I can see that happening too. But it's just like these are sequels, man. Like, what are you expecting?
yeah.
I know.
Like
I
not
know.
every sequel can be like God of War 2018, where they just completely reinvent the wheel for itself, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah. It can't be. Not every game is gonna be because look at a good examples of games that have like strayed from their formula. You have games like Resident Evil and Dead Space that did try new things, and some succeeded, some completely like bombed. But it's so hard to tell if more of the same is good or not. Because sometimes more of the same, it depends on the execution and the contents of the game. Because it could be same God of War, completely obviously completely different story, different like mechanics and whatnot, like different abilities, but it's more of the same. That's completely fine. But if you have literally the same world, but like different characters, then you could maybe like get worried. I don't know. It's so difficult to compare because God of War and Breath of the Wild also they're completely different games and they're open, okay, kind of, not really. Uh, they're no, completely different games.
yeah, but I
Yeah, no,
mean,
it's I think it's gonna be really based on what they do that basically takes their formula to the next level. And
True,
sequels and games have a really good they do a pretty good job of doing that. Or
they do.
they have
yeah,
a baseline that they work off
Yeah,
of and then their sequels just expand on that and it becomes the
Last
greatest
of
thing
Us.
ever.
Look at Last of Us. It
Yeah,
became
but the thing is about Breath of the Wild and God of War is that they are claimed as masterpieces. So pushing their genre forward, right? Pushing the medium
right.
forward. Can they really replicate that? You
I
I'm not
know,
think
gonna
Breath of
it's
doubt
the
them.
Wild
sequel.
can.
I'm not gonna doubt them.
I God of War just because we haven't like I only speak of the things we've seen. God of War we've seen Soch, nothing. But with having at least glimpses at Elden Ring and Breath of the Wild, I'm more confident in Breath of the Wild exceeding expectations a bit. Um, at least for those that consider the first one a masterpiece, because there's people that will die on the hill that Breath of the Wild was a mess, and like it's not really Zelda. Shut the hell up. That's not a thing. When people go, that's not really Resident Evil. Shut the hell up. That what does that even mean? It's not the essence. Shut up. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's where I'm at.
I have no doubt either. God of War, Breath of the Wild 2 are gonna like completely push the envelope. It's just a matter of if Elden Ring and Starfield are going to do the same.
Oh man, for me the outlier is Starfield because I have no idea how that's gonna like. I have no idea because I'm expecting. I'm not expecting. I'm hoping Bethesda innovates in ways that we've never seen. You know, they always every video game is always we're reaching new levels. You know, are you really though? You know.
Yeah, we'll see with Elden Ring too, because apparently, by reports, it's going to be a little easier.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm,
We'll see about
fuck.
that. But yeah, man. It's either way, man. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna. It's 2022 is shaping up to be a really good year. So I'm excited for that.
Probably going to be one of the best in gaming.
Yeah,
If
for
all goes
sure.
right.
All right, man. So that's pretty much the end of the show. We had a lot to talk about. So yeah, man.
But did we
Let's.
need PlayStation in E3? So did we need PlayStation?
Yeah, like, man. Yeah,
Did
man.
we
We
need
need
the heart
the
and
heart and
soul?
soul. And let me say a little bit of something was missing. You know, I can't quite put my finger on it, but something was missing this E3. You know, something was
Mm-hmm.
missing.
Might have something to do with our podcast, probably.
Um, but
I agree.
I
I agree.
mean, look, even Phil Spencer said this a while back. Is that like, yeah, E3 doesn't feel the same without everybody here, and like, yeah, for me being a PlayStation fan, like, yeah, like it took a little bit out of the sales not having them there. Even though there was still a ton of great stuff to be excited for, and in a way, like if I'm Sony, like it's probably like, yeah, you avoid being lost in the shuffle, even though let's be honest, they probably won't be since they're PlayStation, but like this way, them having their own event sort of separated from E3, yeah, it gives them a lot more time in the spotlight, which totally makes sense. But yeah, definitely can't deny that. Yeah, a little bit of that heart and soul was missing from E3.
100%. 100%.
Definitely.
I was definitely missing the big announcement reveals,
Yes, sir.
but it is what it is. So
Yeah.
wait till next E3.
No, man, don't say that. Don't say that. All right, man. So we're gonna get to these outros right now. Once again, I want to thank you guys for for listening to the DualShock and Sense podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe. Macho, why don't you kick things off for us? What's going on for you this week?
Yeah, so it's back to New York for me for next week. So I'm transitioning to the job. So I'm bringing my PS5 with me, and I'm going to be playing some Mass Effect 2. Playing that with the fiance by my side. We're probably going to talk about maybe I'll have her tune into some the decision making that comes with that. That'll be pretty fun.
Nice.
And then during this weekend, mostly just being with the family and kind of just celebrating the life of my grandmother. And during the quiet times, I'll dip into Assassin's Creed Unity. I already started playing.
Wow.
So I'll have more thoughts on that next week when I get a little bit more gaming time in today and tomorrow. But so far, very positive. I like it a lot.
Nice.
Elise is, oh my god, Elise.
Hey man, you about to be disappointed real soon.
Oh no! Alright, I'll keep playing though.
I kind of
I'll keep
agree
playing.
with him. I'm so sorry.
I'll keep playing. I just got to the part where Arno got his assassin's robes and stuff. So.
Or who?
Oh no.
Oh, whoa, what's going on with you, man, this week?
A lot of the same, man. I just moved in, so more unpacking, more setting up stuff. Last night, I'm gonna check the post office later today. I ordered a video game, which is Demon Souls. I'll be trying that out this weekend probably. Other than that, more Ratchet and Clank, and I'm gonna be starting next week my playthrough of Dead Space 2, because since I finished 1, I'll be trying 2 now. Pretty excited for that. Want to get scared. I just love getting scared, but then I regret it at night. Excited for that. Gonna be in between games, trying to level up my character more and get to Macho's level so we can do those sweet raids and stuff.
Yeah, man, just let me know. I'll join in with you. You could be any level, and I'll just join in.
For sure. No, I'm gonna spam this shit.
Oh yeah. Also, let me know about Sea of Thieves too. You could actually.
Oh yeah. No, let me know. I mean, yeah. We can talk. We'll talk.
Man, that's a crying shame right there.
Other than
Sea of
that,
Thieves, man.
That
hate to see
Pirates of
it.
the Caribbean does something, man. That franchise is amazing.
You hate to see it. This man's been manipulated by Jack Sparrow, by old Jack Sparrow.
Listen, man, it's all about Elizabeth.
Oh, that's the real
Swan.
reason. That's the real reason.
Well, the real reason's Will Turner, but I ain't gonna get into that. That's one sexy man, all right?
Oh,
That's one
man.
sexy
Hey.
man.
Oh man,
Aight.
this has been the most suspect episode yet, man. For real.
In the words of Soul, I'm licking my lips. Oh my god.
Other than that, man, video games, man. Video games and unpacking and just trying the new house, getting used to this whole thing. Gonna be starting my summer classes soon. Yeah, in it, man. Just and more games.
Nice. Yeah, as for me, just basically the same thing, chipping away at Mass Effect 2 on Insanity, trying to get the platinum, and Ratchet and Clank as well. Still slowly going through that and having a blast. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Excited to see what happens this week in the gaming industry, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens, man. It's that Sony event. I can smell it in the air, man. I can smell it.
And abandoned. See what comes from abandoned and blue
Yeah.
box and all this.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, once again, thank you guys for watching. Like and consider subscribing to the channel. We would greatly appreciate that. And we will catch you guys next week for more in the gaming industry. Peace.